Good afternoon, everybody. Hello, my friends in Europe. My name is La Vida Virtual Life, and we are back with some more Great Ace Attorney adventures. We're on the final case, but I don't think we'll finish it today. These final cases are usually incredibly long, so. But either way, it's good to be back. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Writes us, nice to see you, UK Wolf. Always a pleasure, my dudes. So, yeah, let's continue the adventure. We are back in court. Susato has left us. We have a murder trial on our hands, of course. Well, yeah. It was inside of a pawn shop. It was bad news. Went to see the new Dragon Ball Z. It was amazing. Oh, yeah? Was it a movie? I didn't even know. I didn't even know there was a new one. Was it fun? You know what I want to watch is the Predator movie. What's it called? Prey, I think. I kind of want to see that. I heard it's pretty good. Maybe I'll watch it illegally. I'm just kidding. I would never do that. Anyway, when I awoke the following morning, Susato-san was already gone. No, Susato! Outside the window, the rain came down in sheets. And so began an even longer day than the last, one that I would remember for the rest of my days. Right, sir. How are you, buddy? You've been playing. What have you been playing? Oh, Kurt, you've been playing the Cult of the Lamb, right? I still don't know if I want to get it yet. I heard that it's really buggy on PlayStation. I might wait a little bit. I don't know yet. Looks fun, though. 17th of April, 9:32 a.m., Old Bailey, Defendant's Antechamber. I don't know if I heard, so my friend invited me along and see what his cousin takes place after Super Broly. Oh, cool. Well, I like DBZ, but I haven't kept up with the newest stuff, Dragon Ball Super stuff. I watched DBZ when I was a kid and when I was a teenager, but I don't know all of the lore after the Cell Saga. Yeah, I'm pretty like not caught up. Just some small performance issues, but a really good game. All right, I might get it. I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see. Good morning, Gina.
Hey.
I'm determined to prove your innocence today. I'm sure we can do it.
Oh, so where's your friend then?
Sorry?
You know, her in a fancy dress. Susato, or however you say it, I don't know.
Miss Susato had to leave early this morning. She was already gone by the time I woke up. Need to watch the show.
You alright with that, are you? Forget about me if you like. Go and see her off.
It's fine. It's not as though Miss Susato and I won't meet again one day.
Even so.
But you, Gina, you only get one chance. This trial today is all we have.
Oh.
Good morning, you too. Oh, it's a kitty.
How are you feeling, Ginny? Did you manage to sleep? Meow. Iris, what are you doing here? What do you mean? When a friend is in need, we show our support. Isn't that right, Waggy? Oh, Waggy!
Great way to show your support, kitty.
Oh, let him have a nose around. What harm can it do?
Fortnite Dragon Ball event. I heard about this. Right, I heard people are gonna be...
I bought a paper on the way here. Now, would you like the good news or the bad news? What do you say, Bruno, Ginny?
Oh, well, I think I'd rather have the bad news out of the way first. Goofy as hell. Did you buy the skins?
Nah, I always take the good news first. You might not live to hear the bad. Yes, that question always gives away people's personalities.
Let's not go there.
Alright then, I'll give you the bad news first.
You didn't buy them?
A record number of rain has fallen this morning, and carriages all over the capital are struggling to move.
Huh? The bad news was a weather report?
So I hope that Susie made her train to Dover, and that the train isn't delayed on its way to the port.
Gosh, I've been to Dover before, boys. I've been to Dover before. I've been to Dover before. It's pretty cool. Try not to spend money on Fortnite anymore. Good luck with that. Gosh, yes.
Alright then, so what's the good news? Well, the rain is forecast to subside this afternoon, so even if the train is delayed, it should be able to make up the time later. Well, that's the good news, isn't it? I couldn't give a monkey's, really.
If only all the good news canceled out the bad.
And look, this trial has made the headlines too. Pawnbroker perishes in pig purse plunder. See? Tsk, how do you like that? Well, let them say what they want. See if I care.
I can't because you're covering your face.
Don't worry, Bruno will soon show everyone that this headline is nonsense.
I will.
And then tomorrow's papers, the headline will be... Discharged diver is dauntless do-gooder. Isn't that right, Bruno?
Oh, yes. Let's hope so.
Of course they will. I have absolute faith in you. How was that? I was trying to sound like Susie. Did it work? Did it?
It's like she was still here. Today's paper has been entered into the court record. Oh. Should we look at it? Probably wouldn't be a terrible idea to look at it.
Good luck then, Bruno. I'll do what I can.
Alright, let's see what this paper is. Also, let's look at our evidence. I don't even remember what we have. Armband, pawnbroker's ticket box, Gina's representation papers, pawnbroker's ticket in the coat, and it has blood that's Mason's. Blood sample portfolio, you can see everybody's blood, but you don't know who everybody's blood is, but we know there's somebody else's blood here on the calendar that's unique. And then we got Iris's manuscript, and McGilded's case notes, the omnibus murder. Okay. This is going to be complicated, boys. Then we got today's paper, which I have not seen yet.
Pawnbroker perishes in pig purse plunder. How awful for Ginny, I mean.
But tomorrow's headline will be, Discharged diver is a dauntless do-gooder, right?
Yes, something like that. If possible, I'd like to even go bigger.
Bigger? How?
Proud pickpocket protects planet post-trial, perhaps?
Protects planet?
Ooh, I can't wait for tomorrow now. It's going to be great. There's a sensational story lower down the front page as well. Look.
Mystery Mole. Classified secrets may have been leaked from overseas Ministry of Justice. For a 10-year-old, Iris certainly has her finger on the pulse of the world news.
It's about secret communications between Great Britain and its allies. Apparently, they've been intercepted by hostile nations.
Communications are being intercepted? Well, how would somebody be doing that?
That's the question, isn't it? I've come up with 3 different possible methods so far. Are you looking for a new career, Bruno?
No, of course not. I wonder. Perhaps this is what Lord Strongheart was talking about yesterday.
Yes, it could be, and it could explain why Gregsy's running from pillar to post at the moment.
The details of today's paper have been updated. Okay. So there's some sort of scheme going on, and I bet it has something to do with the minister. I bet it does.
Obviously, I don't know the law like Susie does, but still. I'll be at your side the whole time, giving you more support and encouragement.
I'm not sure that big thing is comforting as you think it is, to be honest, but thank you, Iris. That's very kind of you.
Oh, yeah, Iris? Yes, Ginny? Well, I was wondering this all about Sholmes. Did they fix him up all right? Yes, the operation was a great success, but Hurley still hasn't come around yet. Eh? I've asked a friend of mine at Scotland Yard to send a telegram as soon as he wakes up.
I'm sure Gregson will let us know the moment there's news.
Oh, right.
No Susada-san and no Mr. Sholmes. It's all down to me today to prove that Gina is innocent of the crime.
Miss Gina Lestrade, counsel for the defense, the trial is about to begin. Please make your way into the courtroom.
It's time then.
Yes, let's go, Gina. Iris.
Lead the way, Bruno.
Bum 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 bum. Poor Gina. She's trying to put on a brave face, but I can tell she's worried and scared. I have to believe in her from the start to finish. That's what weapon will secure our victory here. Bum bum bum. If I learned anything from my great friend, it's that 17th of April,
10 a.m. The Old Bailey courtroom.
got some jurors.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. Ho ho, it's me, Santa Claus, bitches. I'm gonna give you a present underneath your Christmas tree, if you know what I mean. Wow! This trial shall determine the guilt or innocence of Miss Gina Lestrade. I now call upon the counsel for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready.
Lord Van Zeek, so.
My lord,
Remind me, how many years ago was it that you withdrew from the public prosecution service?
it was some 5 years ago, my lord.
Yes, and then 2 months ago you resurfaced somewhat unexpectedly, and here you are again today. Are there some circumstances of which this court should be aware that have led to this erratic behavior? In what might be described as your former life 5 years past, you dealt exclusively in matters concerned with the highest echelons of society and government.
Huh? Really?
Yet today you choose to try a simple case of burglary and murder. I confess I find it more than a little befuddling, counsel.
There are two types of person I cannot abide. Firstly, those wealthy scoundrels who hide behind the mask of philanthropy to cheat public at large.
He means Mr. McGilded. Defended against the Reaper 2 months ago.
Yes, I just about managed to work that out, thank you. Magnus McGilded, if I'd known what a monster he was, I would have never defended him. And secondly, even more loathsome, those wily scoundrels who masquerade as allies only to effect total betrayal in the final hour. In other words, the confidence tricksters from those tiny islands in the Far East. The Nipponese, hey! You racist. You racist. What? Did he really just say that?
He means you now, Bruno.
I actually managed to work that out too. Thank you, Iris. Total betrayal? What are you talking about? Oh, that torrid look of hatred in Van Zeek's eyes. Was that directed solely at me, or was he talking about the Japanese people?
Oh, an alarmingly scathing explanation, Lord Van Zeek. Still, the judiciary welcomes the return of the so-called Reaper of the Bailey, feared by all London's malefactors.
Your lordship is too kind. Hey, racist check complete. He is also racist.
Now, jurors, the 6 of you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to hear the evidence placed before you and determine the guilt or innocence of the defendant?
Former lieutenants of the British Army here, don't know. Chaps like me were born ready.
Clean crockery, clean cutlery, and clean conscience. His lordship's motto is very appropriate here, I think. Everything will be stereoscopic in the future. Absolutely, absolutely everything. And I'm ready for it.
I don't understand. I can't have left it in there. It's not possible. What could I have?
Women indispensable in society. Stop. Female-centric future awaits. Stop.
Good day. I am visiting London from sightseeing. I would like to take City Bus Crystal Tower, please.
Is something wrong, Bruno?
Oh, not exactly. It's just... I'm fairly sure I recognize these jurors. Almost all of them, in fact.
Really? Funny coincidences like that do happen from time to time, don't they? But it is quite strange. The jurors are chosen at random from London's 6 million inhabitants, you know.
So I've been led to believe, but something tells me I'm being duped. Yeah, we got the same jurors.
Very well, now, Lord Van Siegs. The court calls upon prosecution to introduce the facts of the case. Yeah, baby.
As you wish, my lord. Allow me to begin with a word of warning to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. In short, there has never been a more self-evident case of cold-blooded murder.
Oh.
The victim, Mr. Pop Windybank, proprietor of a pawn shop on Baker Street, was shot from behind and died instantly. The prosecution presents the photographic print of the crime scene. No, as the court will observe, there's a single bullet wound just below the gentleman's left shoulder. The evidence suggests the bullet pierced the man's heart, resulting in near instant death. No! Oh, instant death! Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory.
And what's that supposed to tell us?
It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. Someone like the accused, you might say.
Oh.
The prosecution wishes to present the autopsy report and crime scene photograph as evidence, my lord.
Indeed, the court accepts. Hand them to the bailiff, please.
Autopsy report is there. Crime scene photograph is there.
I now ask the court to turn its attention to the plan of the establishment where the incident occurred.
Not yet. We'll be looking at even more evidence. Autopsy report. Pop Windybank, occupation pawnbroker on Baker Street. Time of death 1 to 1:30. I'm the one reporting it. Single bullet wound in the upper victim's back. No other visible signs of trauma. Instant death. Posterior bullet wound to the heart. Bullet entered the body from the back on a gently rising trajectory. Okay, nothing too exciting there. And we got a crime scene photograph as well. Odd that the blood would be... There's like no blood here, which is kind of odd. Did the bullet go through him? Kind of strange. Kind of strange.
The proprietor was found in the storeroom where he kept his articles to pawn to him. A windowless room with a single point of entry, a door to main shop that was found locked. In this sealed chamber there were only 2 persons present. The victim, Mr. Windybank, and the accused. It may further interest the court to know that when the accused was discovered at the scene, she had in her hand a gun that was used to fire the fatal bullet.
Hey, Dragon. How are ya? It's so good to see you, my friend. Guess where I am right now in this game? I'm in the Old Bailey. We in London, boys. Makes me want to go to the UK so bad, bro. I'm so excited. I want to travel so bad. It's alright. School's starting up, so got work to do and stuff. How are you, Dragon? How's the wife?
She had in her hand a gun.
Well, that's that then, isn't it? Nothing more to say. Isn't that grubby little girl a pickpocket anyway?
She's one of those fiddly drabs that live in the slums in the East End.
Oh, well, it was only a matter of time. What are the jurors waiting for? The girl's guilty as hell.
You're good, just chilling. Awesome. We can't jump to conclusions here. We mustn't assume her guilt because of what she has to do to survive.
My learned Nipponese friend, is it you who mustn't jump to conclusions? The prosecution has barely begun presenting its case.
Huh? It's raining a bit in the UK. She's well and good. Yay! You finally got some rain? Well, that's nice, right? It was a hot summer for you guys.
Conveniently, this appalling act of murder did not go unobserved. There were witnesses.
Good gracious.
After their testimony, this girl's true nature will be exposed. Pitiful pig purse or cold-hearted killer. Here's to establishing the truth
Eh?
The court will take the floor plan and the firearm into evidence. Hand them to the bailiff, please.
How's the cat? She's sick and kind of old, but she's a good cat. I don't think she's gonna last too much longer, but oh my god, she's a sneaky one, man. She pukes everywhere and so many messes to clean up, but it's alright. We love her anyway. Yeah, I just got back from a vacation. It was short, but it was fun. I went to my mom's 50-year summer camp reunion, which is pretty cool. And so that was really fun. And then went to National Park. And on Sunday I have a wedding reception I'm going to play. And then the next week I have a show as well on Saturday afternoon. So, yeah. So life and school has started as well. So it's going to be busy. Too hot for you with the heat and humidity? Yeah, I believe it. It's been pretty nice here, actually. We've had very good weather. Lots of rain, which has been nice. We need the rain. I live in a desert, so yeah, it's been good.
At once, my lord.
Crime scene floor plan is entered in the record, and the revolver. This isn't good. Let's take a look at the new evidence we got. Okay, there's the store, and there's where the victim was, and there's where my girl was. Let's look at the revolver, shall we? This is Mr. Winniebank's gun. The cylinder is completely empty.
Mr. Windybank always used to keep his gun on hand with his shop counter.
Yes, but only ever with a single bullet loaded, I understand.
That's right, to keep all the pawned articles that were in his care safe.
But his one bullet was fired that night, and the poor man lost his life. Was he protecting his shop, I wonder? Trying to keep the articles safe?
Uh,
I don't know. I don't see anything else. Yeah. Writing any new songs lately? Not really. Not really. I've been more practicing guitar. How's your dad? My dad is good. He's living with his new wife in Wisconsin, which is quite far away. So I'd like to go visit him sometime. But Mom obviously has, like, you know, chemotherapy and stuff like that. So this isn't good.
I feel like the mood in here has turned very gloomy all of a sudden, Runo.
I think that's because it has.
Yeah. Let us begin. Bring forth the witnesses to the foul murder of Mr. Pop Windybank on the 16th of April of this year.
They're sketchy witnesses, aren't they? The thieves? Yeah, they are. One of these dudes shot me.
Witnesses, state your names and occupation for the court.
Name's Nice Skulkin. Occupation is baddie. Professional baddie. My name's Ringo Skulkin. Occupation's same as him.
Tobias Gregson, Scotland Yard Inspector.
That's right.
What they call the Tree Skullskin Brothers.
What are you looking at like that for me? Don't lump me in with you lot.
God, blimey, that's cold. Don't you know what we're going through? What we're going through?
It's our older bruv. Lost contact with him we have, so we've scoured every shady corner of the capital.
And then last night, we come across you, the very spit of the bloke, ain't that right, Ringo?
He's nice, she's the very spit of him. So we decided that we was going to do what we call Big Bruv Sulky.
Come on, leave it out, you two.
Sulky Skulkin? And that's before he's run out of chips?
Well, then, Inspector Sulky Gregson.
Begging your pardon, my lord, but the name's Tobias.
What I would have liked to know, Inspector, is what are you doing in the witness stand?
The Skulkin brothers are currently under arrest, my lord, on suspicion of theft.
Oh, thieves are they? These three? No, my lord, begging your pardon, but please don't lump me in with this lot.
2 nights ago, these 2 brothers illegally entered the establishment with attempt to burgle. And in the course of their nefarious activities, they became embroiled in a far more sinister crime.
By Jove, you mean to say what an extraordinary coincidence?
Indeed, my lord, while attempting to burglarize the pawnbrokery, they witnessed its proprietor's murder.
How do you know they didn't murder him? They're the sketchy ones. Look, they even have pirate skulls on their back, kinda.
The various trespasses of these brothers is not subject of the day's proceedings.
Yes, it is.
Though they will naturally face trial in the very near future. With your lordship's permission, I'd like to remain in the stand to keep these gents on the straight and narrow.
Of course, Inspector. Skeptical as I am about the caliber of these witnesses, I will permit them to take the stand.
Mr. and Mr. Skulkin, you will now testify before the court. Describe the events of the night in question and what exactly you saw.
Happy to. 'Cause a skulkin's never skulkin'.
Get out of it.
Legal entry.
We was walking down Baker Street in the small hours and the guy's door was ajar, see? It was like some kind of sign begging for us to go in, it was. But once we got inside, cold blimey gloomy, we heard a gunshot from the back room.
We went to see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside.
We never done nothing, governor. We never took nothing. We just left that after that nice and quiet.
I don't believe that.
A terrible coincidence, it would seem. After the precise moment these miscreants entered the property, an even more sinister crime was afoot.
The witness's testimony is consistent with the crime scene in every detail.
No.
The door providing access to the storeroom from the main shop was locked from the inside, and within, only victim and the accuser were found.
I must say, it does appear to be an overwhelmingly simple case. Still, the defense may cross-examine the witnesses now, of course. Counsel, if you please.
Counsel?
Counsel?
Yeah.
What's the matter, Bruno?
Sorry, I was just stunned into silence for a minute by the blatant lies being told by that pair on the stand. I know that it's all nonsense because I saw it with my own eyes. I'll just have to expose their testimony for the pack of lies that it is.
You do it, Bruno. You get him. Use him the left hook and the right hook. And give him the front and center.
We was walking down Baker Street in the... Oh, wait, hold on.
We was walking down Baker Street in the small hours and the gaf's door was ajar, see?
Should I press him? Okay, I guess so. Might as well, eh? The front door at Windy Banks was ajar, you say? What time of night was this?
Mustn't have been about 1, right, Ringo?
Yeah, I'd say so, right, okay.
How would I know?
The place would have been shut at 1 in the morning, just like every other shop in town.
Well, it was pitch black inside, it's true, ain't that right, Ringo?
I'm not sure, Nash. I seem to remember a little light burning inside. What about you, Sulky, me old mucker?
Leave me alone.
There definitely was a small lamp burning inside. That's what alerted us to the situation in the first place.
And when these gentlemen ventured into the open establishment, the accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, already had the muzzle of her gun trained on the unfortunate victim.
This is pure conjecture.
Perhaps, but it changes nothing. These brothers inadvertently wandered into the middle of a cold-blooded murder, simply because they found the door of the victim's establishment open and ventured inside.
Right, that's what happened. It was like some kind of sign begging for us to go in, it was.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. Uh-huh. Press him.
Press him.
What are you trying to suggest? That you had to go in?
Well, good moves in mysterious, God moves in mysterious ways, they say, don't they, Ringo?
Oh, they do, Nash, they do. Must have been some sort of providence, I reckon.
God's will often presents itself with a whim of thieves, does it?
It weren't no whim, I'm dead sure of that.
Weren't, Nash, it weren't like you said at the time.
You don't just find doors open in the middle of the night like that. Nah, there's no two ways about it.
It was a sign our long-lost brother was inside.
They're not very good liars, are they?
Well, you can't deny it. It led us to a bloke that looks just like our bruv.
Eh, Wolf UK, welcome! Nice to see you, buddy. What's your name now on Discord? Saul Godman. Listening to songs like Elton John and a bit of Queen. Pog. I still need to watch Breaking Bad, yo.
It led us to a bloke just like our bro.
I said cut it out.
Those chips are getting a chomping today. Chips are getting a chomping. It's some Breaking Bad. I need to watch it. I've heard good things for sure. Bum 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 bum. Alright.
Once we got inside, called Blimey and Lummy, we had gunshot from the back room.
A gunshot, you say? Just the one? Are you sure about that?
Yup, just the one, Governor, I can swear to that.
Oh, it was, Nash, it was. Ain't that right, bro?
Better call it Saul. I have to put the deposit today for the new God of War and Modern Warfare number 2 when I was in town. Woo! New games! Woohoo! Are you excited? When does God of War come out? Do we know? That's gonna be fun. And Call of Duty? Fun, fun. I've been playing all these new PS Plus games that are, you know, like, released with the package. I really like the Yakuza 0 so far. It's really fun. It's really fun.
The fire long used to belong to the victim himself.
Yes, Mr. Windybank always used to leave his gun lying on the counter.
Right, I remember. God of War in November? Pog. That's not too far away, man. September, October, November. 3 months, man. That's not far.
When we examined it, we found the revolver was completely out of rounds.
That makes sense. Mr. Windybank always used to say he only ever kept a single bullet loaded.
That's true. I remember him saying that as well.
So we can say with considerable certainty that the only single round was discharged from the firearm was used as a murder weapon.
Yes, my lord, we can. And I should remind the court that this firearm in question was discovered in the hand of the accused.
Ah.
Wonderful.
We went to see what was worth, but the door was locked from the inside.
Sure you did. Do you mean the door between the main shop and the storeroom?
If my learned friend is having difficulty grasping the situation, perhaps a drawing would help. Hey! Excluding the shop's entrance from the street, there is only one other door, that of the storeroom. Yes!
Of course, there was only a little lamp burning, not much to see by.
And the door was hidden behind a curtain and all.
That's right. When we arrived, the door was mostly obscured by the curtain. Tell me, why exactly did you try to open that door? Any normal petty thief would run at the sound of a gunshot, I should think.
Oh, well, your turn to rabbit, Ringo. Oh, well, Nash, yeah. I suppose you'd say we ain't normal, eh?
Broadly speaking, humans respond in one of two ways on hearing a gunshot or scream. The timid flee, gripped by fear, while courageous investigate to see if they might help. These gentlemen are of the latter inclination, my learned Nipponese friend. It would seem is the former.
Somehow I just proved that I was a coward that night.
Thank you, counsel. So I believe we all understand the door was locked and could not be opened. Proceed, witness. Witness says.
We never done nothing, Governor. We never took nothing. We just left after that nice and quiet.
Sure you did.
Hold it!
Sure you did. You didn't do or take anything? Is that your story?
Well, it was bedlam as soon as, weren't it? It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out like Lucy Lockett.
So no time to take your hands out of your pockets? You just left nice and quiet, you say?
That's right, Governor. Nothing we ain't more than violence. Peace-loving nibblers we are, not bludgers. We are, Nash, we are. Never even pulled me dukes out of me Lucy Lockett.
So you clearly like us to believe,
Eh? Come again?
as you fled from the pawnbrokers that night, did you not run into anyone else? And did you not fire a gun at that person?
Saints alive, they fired a gun, you say?
Oh! Blimey, Governor. You ain't telling us it was you in the doorway?
It was.
Oh, why the bleeding aura? Didn't mention that before.
You were armed with a gun. And as you fled the scene, you fired that gun at London's greatest detective, Herlock Sholmes.
They shot the great Mr. Sholmes? I did hear that, actually. The great Sholmes? That's beyond the pale.
On the night in question, these pair were arrested by the police within minutes of discovery of the crime scene. Their suspicious countenance rapidly gave them away. And when searched, a firearm was indeed found in their possession.
Oh!
Furthermore, the barrel shows signs of shot having been fired from it.
Oh!
The prosecution invites his lordship to examine the firearm recovered from these brothers.
Yes, indeed. Remnants of powder around the muzzle, as you say, counsel.
Oh!
The court will hold this weapon as evidence.
The Skulkin brothers' gun has been entered into the court record. Now, my learned Nipponese friend.
Alright, let's see what this gun looks like, shall we? See anything too special about it. So there's ammunition still loaded in 5 of the revolver's 6 cylinders.
Yes, which tells us that only a single shot has been fired from it.
Exactly.
The bullet that hit Hurley, in fact, isn't it?
Yes, it happened almost as soon as we walked in through Windy Bank's door.
Oh, I'll make those brothers pay.
Uh-oh, that's not good for us, though. If the only one gunshot was here, and if it didn't kill the guy in the back, that's not good news for us. Not good news, not good news.
Now, my learned Nipponese friend.
Yeah?
Here's to your successfully presenting the evidence.
Huh?
For yes, there are telltale signs of spent powder on this gun and a single bullet missing from the cylinder. But the prosecution demands evidence that it was fired at the scene of the crime under scrutiny in this trial.
Objection!
Well, I don't need evidence. Because I was there.
Objection!
However, the rest of us in this courtroom would not.
Huh?
If the defense fails to provide evidence in support of this rash claim, We shall not have no choice but to toast your incompetence and move on.
Evidence that these two fired that gun before they left Windy Banks that night?
The court demands that all claims are affirmed with clear proof. What evidence shows these witnesses unloaded the firearm the pawnbroker shot that night?
Well, there's a crack in the calendar, so that's probably what we're going to want to go for. Yeah. Right? Seems fairly obvious, I think. I could save, but...
Take that!
The evidence
is in this portfolio.
What? What on earth have you there, counsel?
During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains.
Not trusting the police to do the job they're trained to do. How arrogantly Nipponese of you!
Well, anyway, we analyzed the blood samples we found and recorded these results in the portfolio.
And you claim to have the evidence the court is demanding therein?
Yes, my lord, and why also did you make that noise?
I get a little excited over evidence, counsel. No more dallying. Present the pertinent evidence at once. Do it. Oh. What do you have in your portfolio that proves these witnesses unloaded a firearm at the scene?
It's that one. There's a bullet still stuck in it. There's a bullet still stuck in it. This one.
Take that!
Jackal, I'm innocent.
We'll see about that, Jackal. I charge that you and the Covenant have invaded the ring that is Halo. Well, I have plenty of evidence that comes in the form of video game Halo 1 Combat Evolved, Halo 2, and Halo 3. There is also further evidence in the later games. I do not know if you are just defending yourself. You shall be put to trial in the Old Bailey. Your defense lawyer will be Dragonheart 2028. He's an excellent lawyer from the United Kingdom. He's also Polish.
Only killed a couple of humans.
What is that? Explain.
It's a photographic print taken at Windy Banks pawnbrokery on the day of the incident.
From the scene of the crime, is it? Oh, is that a bullet hole? And if I eyes do not deceive me, it appears the bullet is still lodged in there. Oh.
Yes, as your lordship noticed, the bullet pierced Mr. Windybank's calendar. That was a confession.
That's right. He's now confessed to the crime, and he'll do the time.
The date showing being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death.
The incident occurred 1 hour after midnight, but this indicates the pepper shot had been fired sometime after the calendar had been set to the 16th.
That's right. And while it isn't irrefutable, the defense believes that this is credible evidence that the witness did fire a round of the gun to the pawnbrokers that night.
No! Yeah, see?
You got sunglasses and a hat?
Nice. Order! How does the prosecution stand, Lord Van Zeeks?
Nice, Jackal.
Gulpy, gulpy. If that is the direction my learned friend wishes to take, the prosecution has no objection.
Huh?
Hadouken! But you'll forgive me for flinging my hallowed chalice aside in disgust at the repugnancy it exposes. Yes, on the night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery illegally. And like the bold baddies they claim to be, opened fire on the new arrivals before fleeing back onto the street.
Hey! Take it easy there. Governor, you're gonna land us in the soup. We had a deal. You weren't gonna get into them details. Tell him, Soaky. Set the bloke straight.
I have nothing to add. So he knew, did he? Van Zeeks knew their testimony would almost certainly expose the extent of their crimes. I tortured some humans, forcing them to watch the last Airbender movie. No, it's cruel and unusual punishment. And it wasn't even the Legend of Korra. No. Oh, no.
It would seem now that I owe my learned Nipponese friend a word of gratitude. What do you mean? What I mean is that you have helpfully confirmed an important fact.
To what fact do you refer, Lord Van Zee?
As has been established at the point of their arrest, a single shot had been fired from the brother's gun. However, if that shot found its target in Mr. Sholmes, then clearly these witnesses cannot be accused of the fatal shooting of the proprietor and the victim. Crap. In other words, these two men have no material connection to the murder of Mr. Windy Bank at all.
Jackal is guilty of being very cool. Yeah, he's a sexy boy. I like it rough. Nicely done, Jackal.
So that's it.
That's it. We didn't have nothing to do with it. We didn't, Nash. We didn't. That's what I reckon.
Your crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, perjury, and let us not forget attempted murder.
Quite a catalog, eh, fellas?
Hey! We're in for it now, bro. Now then.
Let us take a moment to consider the aforementioned great detective Sherlock Holmes.
Cats 2019.
No, the horror. The Cats 2019. Oh, the horror.
It would seem the man patronized the pawnbrokers in question somewhat regularly.
Where's he going with this?
Mr. Sholmes appears to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric machinery.
Eccentric says who?
Not me. Don't give me that look.
He installed a pair of machines like this one in the victim's shop.
Oh, that's one of Hurley's red-handed recorders.
What is that, Counsel? It has to be the appearance of a photographic contraption.
As your lordship has surmised, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device.
Every half an hour, it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment. The idea being that if a thief were to break in the item shop, he would be caught red-handed. Uncharted 1 is a perfect game. It has a good story, has good voice acting, but the gameplay is kind of boring. I prefer Lost Legacy and Uncharted 4 myself. It's kind of just like corridor shooter to corridor shooter. It's okay. It's not bad, but I give it like 6.5. Kind of monotonous. It's not terrible. Yeah, maybe I'll go 7. I don't know. I like 4 and Lost Legacy quite a bit more, but to each their own. The villains are so memorable. I don't even remember the villain, dude. I don't even remember who it was, and I streamed that game twice. Or at least once.
The prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by the device in the night in question.
Should play them again. I should play them again. 9:30.
And the court will observe the copious identical prints are produced in quite desultory fashion.
You're being sarcastic. Yeah, I noticed. I noticed, Jackal. It's like your whole persona, dude.
Oh, rather prodigal, I feel.
In fact, there are 2 such devices in the victim's shop, my lord.
Music is really good.
If I may refer the court to the plan of the premises, their respective positions are here and here.
You say these cameras produce a print every half hour? I'm afraid I fail to see how that would help if anticipated thief conducted his activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals.
One can only pray the would-be criminal lingers, my lord. On the night in question, the witnesses currently in the stand were not caught on camera.
That's a bit of friar tuck, eh, bro? Lucky lady loves a skokie.
Witnesses, at what time did you trespassing begin?
It must have been just after 1, right, bro? Must have been Nash, must have been, yeah, just gone 1.
In which case, the minutes before the brothers entered the establishment.
Vita, give me some credit. I don't know. What do you take seriously, Jackal? Resident Evil 1, I guess? Your friends. That's what you take seriously, your friends. Your friends. And probably your family too, I bet. And probably Jill sandwiches. Master Chief burgers.
What scene might we expect within the shop?
Someone loses a loved one? Yeah.
Let us examine the evidence.
Good Lord. It's the defendant. Miss Gina Lestrade.
As the court can clearly see, the accuser is pictured gun in hand facing the victim over the shop counter. No doubt coercing the proprietor to open the door to his storeroom.
Quite. One can only too easily examine the events that unfolded. The court will take this photographic print as evidence, if you please, counsel.
Alright, let's look at this. Yeah, it looks pretty bad. No doubt about it. There's a kitty. Meow. There's a doggo. Meow. There's a skull. There's a Gina. Oi! There's a provider. Oi! There's a pin. Ah! There's a door. Creak! There's a scale.
Oh, justice.
I don't know. I don't see anything too sussy about this print, but I bet there's something about it. That's important. Can't believe it's been a year on your channel. Has it really? Have you been here a year already? Holy shiz, bro. Time does fly, man.
Ugh. I don't believe it, Ginny.
In short, the accuser is the only person who could possibly have killed Mr. Windybank.
Oh! That's obviously not true, but...
I say, my lord.
Wonder if I might put a word in at this point.
Go ahead, Mr. Foreman.
Took a bally bullet to the knee in the Battle of Maiwand, 1880, don't you know? Decorated for it and all that before she retired from service, sadly. Of course, a medal can never outshine the exploits of a chap like us on the battlefield.
Yes, Mr. Foreman, and what exactly is your point?
Carried on the battle after retirement. You see, the battle of daily life, if you like. And here I am now, leading this small squadron, 6 men, all good and true. And we'll all go down together, you mark my words, one for all and all for one.
I do feel old.
The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached their agreement, have they? Is that what we are to understand?
Well, Mr. Foreman, is that correct?
In a manner of speaking, yes. That is the Garadeb Squadron's position, sir. No, it's too soon to make a judgment here. Status report from the court. Men on the devil.
His lordships insist on promptitude at all times, and that goes for making decisions too.
I think you'll find the truth as clear as day now. It could reach out and touch it.
I wouldn't have left it in there. I just wouldn't. But in all honesty, I can't remember.
Situation clear. Stop. No room for doubt. Stop. Truth now undeniable. Stop.
I am very sorry for brothers. They are unlucky. There is mouse in my hand.
Yes, Russia.
Very well. I now call upon each member of the jury to state his or her leaning in the matter. Announce your considered verdicts to the court.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Yes.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Uh-oh.
Hadouken!
Uh-oh, we in trouble now, boys. We in trouble now, boys.
It does indeed appear that the jury is and is leaning already.
That photograph. It must be the definitive evidence that Gregson mentioned.
But Ginny didn't shoot him.
No, of course not. My lord, the defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination.
Very well, the court grants permission.
So, you refuse to admit defeat again? How unsurprising.
We shall proceed immediately with the summation examination. Mr. Foreman, all members of the jury are ready.
Absolutely, sir. Always ready for action, my chaps.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on which grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty. Yes.
Judicial Findings. The jurors' contentions. Of all the evidence, clearly points the finger at guilt of this young pickpocket, Tiernan.
As a housemaid, I should like to see all filthy eyesores promptly and rigorously eliminated. I think you'll find if you look at the photograph in the stereo, the truth will just pop up.
I have left it in there. I should think there'll be repercussions by now. Oh.
What are you talking about, dude?
Mind made up, stop. Global radio transmission verdicts to follow, stop.
In motherland we never judge by clothes, judge by head. I am convinced the brothers are innocent.
Uh-huh. Now, we need to find the contradiction here. We need to find the contradiction.
The circumstances of the crime and evidence do indeed implicate the defendant rather comprehensively.
The storeroom locked from the inside, in which the victim and the accuser were discovered alone, and in the accuser's hand a fatal revolver, the firing of which was heard from these witnesses. Not to mention the print.
Take it from a chap who's seen action on the battlefield. That young girl's on the verge of pulling the bally trigger. Thanks a lot, Mr. Sholmes.
Oh dear, all his cameras were supposed to help, not hinder.
I'm afraid I think you have an uphill struggle ahead of you.
But Gina didn't shoot Mr. Winniebank. I feel old knowing it has been that long already. Has it really been a year? What was the game that you found me on? It wasn't Binding of Isaac, was it? It must have been Resident Evil of some kind, right? It must have been. Some sort of Resident Evil. It had to have been. Yeah, RE4. Was that the first time I played it? And then I just recently played it again on Professional. That was hard, bro. Although it wasn't so hard with Ashley in the suit of armor, but... Which means there's more to the situation than we've yet to see.
Agreed.
You have the floor, counsel. Proceed with the summation examination. Yeah!
It's fun, dude. Jury examination. Has it really been a year? Holy shiz, bro. Defense's rebuttal.
All the evidence clearly points the finger of guilt to the young pickpocket.
So these are kind of hard. We have to pit these jurors against each other. Sometimes we need to... sometimes we need to press, sometimes we do not. I don't know. This guy seems alright.
As a housemaid, I should like to see all filthy eyesores promptly and rigorously eliminated.
Let's press you. Let's press you. Do without the Ashley armor? Ugh, that'd be hard, bro. I could do it on New Game Plus, maybe, but... New Game? Ugh. Polishing the bench, I see again.
A maid's work is never done, not a blemish must remain.
What exactly do you mean by filthy eyesores?
On my way to market for his lordship, I have to pass through the East End. The place is full of beggars, pickpursers, and crossmen, the scum of the earth.
A little harsh, perhaps?
Let me be plain. If it were up to me, all those back slums would be made spick and span or eradicated. At least we have people like the great detective working to achieve these important goals.
Yo, Hitler much? This bitch is crazy. What kind of crap is that, bro? That's scary. You're referring to Mr. Herlock Sholmes?
That's right, I like to keep abreast of his exploits by reading Rant's magazine in between my duties. He does wonders clearing up London streets. In my opinion, he should be declared an honorary maid of the capital.
Mr. Sholmes? A maid?
It's really quite unforgivable. Gutter scum, having the audacity to shoot our very greatest detective.
Minor detail, it was the two brothers in the stand who shot Mr. Sholmes, not the defendant?
A minor detail indeed. They're all gutter scum as far as I'm concerned.
Well, it just might be an idea to get our facts straight anyway.
Yes, all right. I shall amend my statement.
Okay.
Those brothers are the scum of the earth. They should be suing and shooting the great detective. They should swing for shooting the great detective.
Yo! She wants them to oh. Okay. Let's save. I think I found somebody to pit here. I think I found somebody to pit. Here. Just in case, though. This woman is crazy. We're gonna pit you against... The brothers are definitely not innocent, so pit you against you. Those two statements clearly contradict each other.
Yeah. Good luck. Counsel, explain yourself.
Oh my statement contradictory.
Contradiction.
Juror number 6, you got the wrong end of the stick.
I do not have stick, I have mouse.
As juror number 2 said earlier, when the Skulkin brothers fled the scene that night in question, they fired a shot from their revolver.
Yes, they shot Mr. Sholmes in the abdomen, I understand.
Surely you're not going to tell the court now that you didn't hear.
Abdomen, ABD.
Sir?
Sorry, my English is still learning.
You are telling the court you didn't hear?
Oh, forgive me, I did not hear. Here is word abdomen, part of person's body containing stomach and other vital organs. Is this what you mean? You should say in plain English. I am Russian, not native speaker.
Who thought it was a good idea to let this man be on the jury again?
So, you are telling me these brothers who look like criminals were lying? They said before we never done nothing, but truth is they shot detective. This is double negative.
Yes, that's exactly right. Comes out the day after your birthday? Woo! Happy birthday! Do you have a PS5? Are you gonna play it on PS5? Probably comes out on PC also, right? Yes, that's exactly right.
Lying is wrong, especially when lie is said by a person who looks like criminal.
Coming from you, that seems surprisingly prejudiced.
This means, when they said, we never took nothing, maybe it was also big fat lie. My mousey go squeezy, I pop his little head off and I drink his blood. Is this true?
Well, according to the police report, no stolen goods were found, so...
Enough, I trust no one now.
It's not the mouse's faults, though, sir. Vito, when are you streaming on PC? When I can get a good setup. Yeah, in the future. I'm not sure when. Hopefully sometime soon. We'll see, though. You know, I don't know exactly.
I must with my own eyes see. I must investigate crime scene myself.
I'm afraid that won't be
Yes, it is, Bruno, easily.
Sorry.
With prints from Hurley's red-handed recorder.
Ah.
If you compare this print to the pictures Ginny in the next print for half an hour later, you'll be able to see straight away if anything was taken or not. Cooey, Mr. Prosecutor.
Tut tut. Calling on the prosecution in the middle of a summation examination of all times. The print showing the accused threatening the victim after she broke into the shop is this one. Following this, the victim and the accused moved to the storeroom. Meanwhile, the Skulkin brothers entered the shop and summarily heard the fatal gunshot ring out. Sadly, none of these events were captured on film. This is the print produced by the camera half an hour later after the brothers' flight.
So this was taken after Hurley was shot, then?
As far as I can tell.
Nothing has been taken.
That does seem to be the case. I can't notice anything that's obviously missing in the second print.
So, the brothers who look like criminals told only one lie. They shot man, but they stole nothing.
It would seem so, yes.
Good.
No, not good.
You were right. I did not understand situation. Now I know brothers have lied. I think it's very important we continue with trial. Hadouken.
Let's go, Russia.
Yay, well done, Bruno. The balance is shifting.
Well, it's a start, I suppose. But there must be more in what these jurors are saying that I can use to expose the truth. And if I can do that, we might just turn the situation to our favor still. Halo Combat Evolved would be fun to stream, for sure, dude. Be super fun to stream.
Thank you, counsel. Continue with the summation examination.
360 no scopes, boys.
And kindly hand that new photographic print to the bailiff to be filed as evidence.
The post-shooting photograph has been entered into the court record. Another print in the court record. I wonder if we can make use of that. Well, let's see. Ioja! Hello! Good to see you, man. Alright, let's look at these two and see if there's any different. Alright. Is there any difference between the two photographs? Let's see. Is there a doll? Okay. Is there a skull? Is there a dog? Yeah. Is there a book and a pen? Is there a cue card? Yeah. Is there a ledger note? Yeah. Is there a photograph of a cat? Yes. Looks pretty similar. I don't see anything too out of the ordinary here. How about the door? Something's a little sussy here. Look at this. Look at in the top left up there. You see that? You can't see it at all in the first photograph. Kind of strange. In the end, it doesn't even matter. Oh, he's singing Linkin Park, Ioja.
I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
In Lake of Lies are many dead fish. We must find truth. Therefore, I say not guilty verdict.
No, not guilty verdict. If I can't change the minds of more than half of these 6 jurors, the trial will be over.
But we know that Ginny would never shoot anyone.
Yes, so we need to find contradictions in what these jurors are saying and pit them against each other. I must be ready to go to whatever length I have to convince Eugenia's innocence. Okay, we got one. We got one juror, but we need at least half. I don't know. 2, 3, 4.
Mind made up.
Stop. Global transition of verdict to follow. I don't know. I'd like to either play Master Duel, VR Chat, or phasmophobia with you one day. I know what VR chat is, but I do not know what Master Duel or phasmophobia are. Could be fun, though. Could be fun. I'm always interested in new ideas.
Hold it! Hold it!
Sorry, radio transmission? What do you mean?
You from the Far East, stop.
Yes, from the Empire of Japan.
All communications with Far Eastern nations used to take place by mail. Royal Mail steamers take more than a month to complete the journey. But now we have the electric telegram, so we can send messages using electrical signals. Thousands of miles of cables have been laid along the ocean beds connecting the entire world.
Thousands of miles of cable on the ocean bed? Makes my head hurt just thinking about it.
You are well informed, young lady. But cables will soon become a thing of the past. Stop.
And just when I was starting to catch up.
Radio transmission is future. Stop. Messages carried over airwaves to four corners of globe. Stop. Excitement growing. Stop. Atmosphere electric. Stop.
Right, try not to wear out your fingers.
Era of wireless telegraphy. Stop. Driving technological revolution. Stop. And people say inventions like the stereoscope are height of technology. What utter piffle. I can't understand it. I really can't. They're just silly toys.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
Excuse me.
This guy likes the stereoscope. Juror number 3, sorry to interrupt when you're obviously fuming, but...
What?
Do you perhaps have something to say about juror number 5's last remark? As if I couldn't guess.
Oh, yes, you bet I do. Say that again. Go on. I dare you. Goodness, are you talking to me?
I think he just might be, yes.
You think stereoscopes are just toys, do you? Huh? Absolutely. I mean, really, a machine to view photographs in 3 dimensions? Why on earth would you not just use your eyes to look at the world around you? It's all 3-dimensional.
What a great way to appease the man.
No, I'm sorry. Stereoscopes are no practical use at all. Oh! You just don't know? Pardon? I think you'll find that viewing a photograph through a stereoscope can unlock all sorts of possibilities. You're obviously going to have to demonstrate.
What sort of possibilities?
Well, take a crime scene, for example. If you had a pair of photographs from the crime scene that you could view through a stereoscope, it could reveal hidden clues you haven't even noticed before.
Oh, what?
Have you got any, Runo? Any prints we could take a look at with the stereoscope?
I'm thinking yes. Yeah, the 2 from the crime. How about this print here? It should do the trick, I think. Yeah, the two pictures.
Take that!
Yeah. Alright then, juror number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any 2 suitable photographic prints?
Of course I can.
Is our collaboration coming soon? Our collaboration, Jackal? You don't have a PlayStation, do you? I mean, I know you're famous now, but...
Of course I can.
Very well then, I'd like you to demonstrate.
I'd be delighted to. Just give me one more print and I'll amaze you all.
Okay.
Take that!
Alright, these 2 prints were both taken with the same camera in Winnie Banks on the night in question?
Yes, I see. Tell me, Mr. Lawyer. Do you know how stereographic images work? Do you understand the principle?
Well, I think so. I did have a lesson only yesterday. The left and the right images need to be the same, only with a slight shift in positions for some objects. Oh, I'll ask the Covenant for a PS4. Then when our brain merges the 2 images together inside your head, it notices the shift as if it were depth.
Yes, exactly. It's that small shift between certain objects in the 2 pictures that's really important.
So what happens if you use the 2 photographs that are exactly the same then?
No, obviously that wouldn't work at all. Not for seeing the scene in 3-dimensionally, anyway. Oh, of course, now I see. Ah, I think the young girl has discovered the secret.
I have.
Can you uncross your eyes before you tell me?
Having a look at these two pictures from Hurley's camera, Runo. Go on.
Can you
See that there's really obvious difference between them?
I actually can. It's in the top left of the corner. That's the only thing. Well, and they obviously have no people there, but... Of course there is. There's 2 people in the first and no people in the second.
Well, yes, you can see that straight away, but now, try looking at the picture in 3 dimensions.
Alright, I'll give it a go. So, to start with, you have to cross your eyes and then try to make the 2 pictures overlap exactly. Let's see if by crossing my eyes I can make the quill pens from each picture overlap in the middle. I just did it, by the way, in real life. Wait! And I just did it in real life.
Well, did you manage to see it properly, Runo?
Yeah, I saw it. Oh! What's going on with these 2 pictures? Some of the things on this counter sort of jump out at you.
Yes, that's it, you see! That's the other amazing power of stereoscopes.
Other amazing power? Is someone going to explain this? Hey, Mr. Krabs, toilet. Hello, Krabs. So good to see you, buddy.
Is someone going to explain this black magic, eh? Why the deuce do some things in the counter seem to jump out like that,
I think you'll find that you consider the basic principle of stereoscopes, you'll answer your own question. Basic principles of the stereoscope. As I said before,
Vita, wear a toilet mask. Hello, Krabs. How was your day, buddy?
if you try to look at 2 identical pictures using a stereoscope, it won't work at all. This is the slight shift in position of certain objects that lets you pictures 3-dimensionally.
In other words, even though at first glance it seems as though objects on the counter haven't moved at all between 2 pictures, this shows actually there must have been a slight shift in their positions.
Yes, there must have been.
Interesting.
Now hold fire there, sir. Got a reasonable grasp of this whole cross-eyed business now, I'd say. But why in the devil does this shift between 2 prints exist in the first place? Well, what's the answer, fellow? Come on, you're the cross-eyed master.
Huh? Me? I haven't the first idea.
You know, Runo, it's quite simple.
It is?
Just think it through step by step. The first photograph was taken at 1 a.m. Then, 30 minutes later, second photograph was taken. But the position of some items on the counter appears to have shifted slightly in the interim. So that means...
That means sometime in the half-hour interval, someone must have tampered with things on the counter.
Zookers!
Someone tampered? New information. Stop. New. Not mentioned in testimony so far. Stop.
Yes. We have to go around in circles a little here, it seems. But I'm starting to see what I should be aiming at in this summation examination now. Ladies and gentlemen, the question now is clear. We know the items on the countertop were moved, but by whom?
Are you suggesting you might know?
Of course. I can tell you right now who's responsible for the almost imperceptible shift in the items in the counter. Windy Bank? Bad guy? Bad guy number 2? Nash or Ringo?
It was me, Nash.
No, it was me, Ringo.
I was the one who moved him.
No, it was me. I moved him.
I have no idea. I should probably have saved. I'm gonna be perfectly honest.
It was a witness currently on the stand, the Skulkin brothers.
Oh, wait. This does not agree with what brothers said in testimony before. They said they did not have time to pull dukes from Lucy Lockets. My phrase book says dukes means hands, and Lucy Lockets is meaning pockets.
Oh, poor mouse! Look at the poor mouse!
But this is another lie. Is this what you say?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Now hold on there a minute, you can't be sure of that. I quite agree. The accused is a common pick purse of all. It's perfectly possible that she went through the things on the desk to see what she might steal.
I think that's unlikely.
And why exactly?
As you can see from this photographic print, the defendant was pointing a gun at the victim. It would seem, as my learned friend indicated, that she was coercing Mr. Winniebank to open the storeroom door. In other words, Miss Lestrade's interest lay within the storeroom and not the main shop, giving her no reason to touch anything on the counter. All of which points to one thing. The Skulkin brothers omitted key facts in their testimony.
Oh!
But the accused is a pick purse, common gutter trash. Why look further than the wrongdoer here?
Because Skulkin brothers are thieves, madam. No better, in fact worse, than a pick purse.
Oh,
I believe that these brothers were looking for something on the victim's counter that night.
Oh!
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you would condemn the defendant to the grounds that she's a pickpocket, would it not at least be right and proper so to thoroughly scrutinize testimony given against her by two thieves?
Well said.
Yeah, I, for one, would like to hear more from the shady pair.
Dukin, with my head, too. Whoa.
That was quite the headbang.
can you all see now? I think this fun Stereoscopes on playthings. You'll find their extraordinary potential firsthand. Hadouken!
Nice.
Wholeheartedly agreed. Stop. Must purchase after trial. Stop. Will return home via Regent Street. Stop.
Hadouken. We did it. We did it. The trial will continue.
Well, it would seem this trial has yet to run its course. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have declared their inclinations via the mighty scales of justice. I hereby call this summation examination to conclusion with the balance altered in the defendant's favor. 2 lean to guilty, 4 lean to not guilty. Accordingly, the jury without consensus. And I order this trial to continue.
Yay, well done. Oh, by the way,
What?
you should hold on to this, Bruno. You never know when it might come in useful.
Twice in one trial would be unusual, surely, but alright. The stereoscope has been entered into the court record.
Lord Van Zeeks, you will instruct the witnesses that the court demands additional testimony from them.
I sure won't spoil the bouquet to do so, my lord.
Wear a mask. I will wear a mask at work, yeah. Crabs. I warned myself another chance to probe that pair about their activities that night at least. And I won't stop probing them until I've proven that Gina Lestrade is innocent.
Yeah.
Yeah!
To be continued. We could do one more. I hope it's short though. Probably won't be. Save current progress? Sure, let's do one more. This has been fun. I've enjoyed this. We could always stop halfway if I get tired. My voice gets shot. Right? Trial part 2. I'm guessing there's 3 parts. Long game, but it's the final case, so, you know.
Order, please. Let us resume proceedings. Witness, you will now take the stand. Yes, get on there, bitches.
Ooh, it's feeling rather hot in here, eh, Ringo? Oh, it's feeling rather hot in here, eh, Nashy?
I presume you've heard the defense counsel's summation examination.
Oh, yes, Governor. I did, Gov, I did.
Mr. and Mr. Skulkin.
Oh, blimey!
This is going to be hard work. Earlier in this trial, you gave the following testimony about your actions after you entered Windybanks.
Well, it was bedlam soon as, wasn't it? It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to pull my dukes out and my lazy lookets.
However, that was a lie. You brothers?
Cool! Blimey.
On the night in question, You rifled through the items on the victim's counter.
We never done nothing of the sort. How'd you figure that out?
You will now give formal testimony once again. You will tell the court precisely what happened on the night in question, and in this time you will tell the truth.
I'm sitting here in my jackal tree, just doing the things to make a jackal free. I'm running up and down, I'm sniping in the head, I'm pulling my shield out of the ground. Oh, jackal tree, it's my jackal tree.
Each lie that passes your lips serves to increase the severity of your punishment. Hadouken, and then that gentleman may deal crushing blow to your chances of ever seeing the light of day again. Although it worth pondering, perhaps.
Say
no more, Gov, we hear you. We'll blab, we'll squeak, we'll peach. We'll blab, we'll squeak, we'll peach.
I'm sitting up here in my jackal tree, doing all the things to make a jackal free. I like to snipe 'em right in the head, you see, I'm a jackal. Yee! Illegal entry.
Alright, we did knock a few things over. We weren't rifling for nothing. It was when we heard the gunshots he made us both jump and that stuff went flying. Lummy, it didn't have to give me a fright. We was thinking we'd shoot it come out the door and get us next. We stuck everything back where we found it and scarpered straight into him black. We couldn't have showed the pawnbroker, see, we never even had a chance, did we?
That's actual lyrics from a song I used. Nice. Sounds like a fun song, bro.
So you admit to the defense's accusation. You did indeed ransack Mr. Windybank's countertop on the night in question?
Not ransack, Governor, no. That's right, Nash, that's right. It's more like we tidied up here. Oh, sorry.
By their own admission, these brothers entered the pawnbroker under dubious circumstances. However, they panicked and fled on hearing the gunshot, having first made their good on their maze.
You can send it to me? Please do.
The way you say it, we hardly sound like roughs at all. We don't, Nash, we don't. Can't make it sound a bit more cutthroat?
Can't just be coincidence these men showed up at Windybanks that night. There's more to their testimony than meets the eye, I'm sure of it.
Cross-examination all through the nation.
Alright, we did knock a few things over, we weren't rifling for nothing. It was where we heard the gunshots, he made us all jump and all that stuff went flying.
I'm sitting up here in my jackal tree. There's a thick 33-year-old streaming the game. I wish I was 33. I'm actually 34 now. I'm old. That's alright. I feel young at heart. I bet you don't see that many 34-year-olds doing silly voices on YouTube. I'm young at heart. Maybe a little too young, in fact. So what you're saying is, the sound of the gunshot shocked you so much you knocked all those things off the counter?
Well, it shocked one of us that much, yeah. This bag of nerves needs to learn to keep his shirt on. Look, it was loud, alright, blimey. My dead granny would have woken up that bang. Big brother here screamed like a bloomin' baby, fell over on the counter. He knocked over loads, a book, a candlestick, and some skull, whatnot. That got tangled in some marionette. We knocked over a picture frame. What knocked them the scales on the floor?
You've really mastered working quietly then.
What a racket. My granny would have been scared back into the grave at a clatter like that.
So in short, the gunshot took you by surprise.
And then some. I mean, it was quiet like a mouse, and then all of a sudden, BAM!
Oh, really? He is not happy about that. Gregson doesn't agree with that.
Excuse me.
Being as old as Clint Eastwood. Not quite.
Get off my lawn, kid. Get off my lawn, Obama. I'm Clint Eastwood. Meh. Meh. I talk to empty chairs. Meh. I lost my mind. Meh. Meh.
Inspector Gregson, do you have something to add?
Meh.
Like I keep saying, I don't appreciate being lumped in with these scoundrels.
No, something to add about their testimony. You seem to react just now to what Mr. Skulkin said. Did it make you think of something? Clint Eastwood is 91. God damn, he's a dinosaur, bro. Well, good for him for surviving that long, I guess. Is he really? Jesus Christ, bro.
Oh, it's probably nothing, of course. I wouldn't even bother mentioning it, only... Well, the fact is, cases don't get solved if you ignore the little details.
How about you just tell us what's on your mind?
Oh. As you know, we brought these fellas into the yard for questioning last night, and the statement they gave them told a slightly different story than what they're saying now.
Did it?
You claimed you heard a victim shout something out before the gunshot.
Might have. The cuff does ring a bell now that you mention it.
Granted, it's only a minor detail, but still, I can't help feeling like perhaps you've been a bit sloppy with your testimony here, fellas, eh?
If I discover the witness's testimony has been any more sloppy than it has hitherto proven to be, I shall be forced to bring the very harshest punishment to bear against them.
Easy. We'll get it right this time, yes. That's it, yep, it's all coming back to me now. A little birdie told me. Oh, little birdie.
Then speak. Supplement your testimony with whatever details you have miraculously returned to your questionable mind, sirs.
Oh, may, right you are, Gove. Just before the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me the gun!"
Okay, I'll press that.
Hold it!
He's 92? No way. Damn, bro. Oh, God. That's a dinosaur. Good for him for living that long. I know there's no way in hell I'll survive that long. So, in fact, you heard a voice, the gunshot, almost simultaneously?
We did, Gove, yes, we did. Although, I suppose if you're being honest, we heard a kind of a wavering voice before the yelling out. If you don't want to get shot, give me the gun! Bam! Kind of thing.
Career in acting, tragically missed. And where were the voices coming from? Could you tell?
Course we could, from the other side of the door behind the counter it was.
From the storeroom, where the victim was found dead?
And the voice you heard, it was that of the victim, Mr. Windybank.
On my granny's life, course it was. Ooh, on his granny's life, course it was.
So that would mean that you both knew Mr. Windybank and the sound of his voice?
So it would mean what? What, Nash, what? Any ideas?
Yes, counsel, indeed it would.
Oh, no, we didn't know the geezer. I was supposed to deny it when the bloke in all the fabric clothes giving us this evil eye.
Oh, if you value your lives, you will ensure your testimony is accurate and true.
On me granny's life it is. On his granny's life it must be.
It's a good job his granny's dead.
To summarize then, immediately after hearing the voice of the victim, you then heard the gunshot. causing you to stumble and upset the items on the counter, scattering them on the shop floor.
You make it sound as if we're clumsy. Don't forget we tied it up after like good boys anyway, that way we see it. That bloke who owned the place is holding a gun, so he should have fired instead of yelling at the girl.
No. He was not holding the gun. He was not holding the gun. The girl was holding the gun. What are you talking about? What are you smoking? What are you smoking, boy? You're saying that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Winniebank, was wielding a gun? Is that correct?
That's it, Gove. You got the picture. Yes, no, she has no question.
And yet the photographic evidence from this time of the incident clearly shows that Mr. Winniebank was not in possession of a firearm in any description.
Objection!
Objection!
You surprise me. Does the defense really intend to highlight evidence that compromises the position of the accused even more?
Furthermore, the defense has failed to establish that the photographic print presented was taken on a suitably short time prior to the victim's death. Your chronology is severely lacking, counsel.
Yeah, that's right. Too right, Nash, too right. The old geezer could have been about to turn the tables on the girl, eh?
Hardly likely.
No, I'm afraid this won't stand as conclusive evidence.
Ugh.
Continue with the cross-examination, counsel, and heed my further warning, witnesses.
A skoken's never skoken.
Okay. So it could have just fired instead of yelling at the girl. Should we press it? I don't really know. Boom 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 boom. And we could try. Try pressing that. I don't know. You saying Mr. Wainwright had a gun in his hands?
Oh yeah, bet it was a sight, eh? Two waving guns at each other must have been pretty heated. I mean, just before he shot out, we heard the geezer say, if you don't want to get shot. Didn't really sound like he meant it, though. Many an empty threat, you could say.
Mr. Winniebank was known to keep his revolver on his shop counter at all times. People say that to protect the articles in his keeping, he'd readily put a bullet in someone's head if required. That someone being himself, of course.
Good grief, extraordinary devotion indeed, if alarmingly misguided.
Well, certainly sounded like he was ready to pull the trigger the other night. Only the person was going to shoot him and beat him to it, cooked as a goose proper. Bet he wished he'd squeezed the trigger instead of wasting his time shouting, give me that gun.
And it was directly after those words that you heard the gunshot?
It was more or less the same time go. Give me that gun! Bam! Kind of thing.
Yeah, career in acting. Very tragically missed.
Then we heard the sound of someone hitting the deck. Before everything went dead and quiet. After that, we did a slap job tidying up the place. Yes. Lummy didn't give him half a fret. We was thinking the shoot would come out the door and get us next.
You know, I'm not sure where to go here, so I guess we just press. I really don't know. I'm not really sure. I guess we'll just press. One important lesson I have learned is that even your closest friends might betray you. I mean, yeah, they might. Hopefully not, though. Right? So you didn't try to open the storeroom door then?
Not on your life. I went deathly quiet after that, it did. Put the wind right up for me. But anyway, the door was locked, wasn't it? No way that was opening. Yeah, of course. It was locked from the inside, or so we're led to believe. Was, Gov, it was from the inside. Right, so we had no way of knowing what was going on in there, did we?
Unless there was some other way to get a view of the inside of the storeroom. Like through the keyhole or a spy hole, perhaps.
Don't ring no bells, don't light no lights. We had to cut and run before we noticed anything like that. We're still cutting our teeth in the game, see, but one day. We really cut the mustard.
Please cut it out.
But as we know, behind that door was the victim's lifeless body with the accused not 2 feet away.
Yeah, unfortunately. It hit hard, Vita.
Gina was in there unconscious with the gun in her hand.
To confirm, it would be correct to say that neither of you set foot inside the storeroom.
That's right, Gov, that's right. Couldn't have, even if we wanted to. We took everything back we found it and scop it straight into the black of the night.
Is that right? Yeah, whereupon you fired a shot from your own gun at Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Oh, yeah, we was a bit hasty there. We was, Nash, we was, truth be told, we was already shaking like a leaf when you turned up.
If you were shaking like a leaf, don't put a loaded gun in your hand.
Good advice, miss, good advice. Truth be told, we mine went totally blank.
Before your mind goes totally blank, make sure you don't have a loaded gun in your hand.
Nah, I passed. This game is too scary for your 1-year-old game.
Too scary.
Good to see you again, my friend from Brazil. How are ya? You doing alright?
It's too scary.
Mental load made, miss. After that, we legged it down the street, but apparently we looked dodgy, so the coppers on Summit said they clapped the derbies on us like winking.
After that, you've been handcuffed. The police found this revolver in your possession.
I'm fine, thank you. Good, nice to see you.
Well, yes. But listen, that proves it, don't it, eh? We couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, see? We never had a chance, did we? I'm rhyming, don't you see? Little birdie told me. Hip hip hooray.
Gino from Mario Party RPG. Oh, I know it. I know Mario RPG. I want to stream that game so bad, but obviously it's only Nintendo. I mean, I could do it on my emulator, I guess. And why should we believe that?
Well, 'cause it's true, innit? The place was totally empty when we went in.
At that time, the victim was already in the storeroom, having been forced to open the door by the accused with a gun to his head.
Huh.
In other words, on the night in question, these two witnesses never even laid eyes on the proprietor of the pawnbroker, Mr. Windybank. Correct.
You got it, mister. Down to a T.
So the Skulkin brothers never actually encountered Mr. Windybank? Is that really true? I wonder. That's it? That's the full extent of their testimony?
What is it, Bruno? You look very fierce. I could pour some herbal tea if you're tired.
Oh, thank you, but I'm fine. Being such a logical thinker, you'd probably laugh. But I feel as though these brothers are still hiding something important. It's nothing more than a feeling, though. I've got no proof to support it.
Well, feelings can be very logical at times.
Sorry.
People's expressions, the movements of their eyes, the words they choose. You can take all of that in your brain quite analyzed to come up with a feeling like you describe. You've concluded there is something suspicious about the testimony without knowing why, that's all. I think you should trust in your instincts.
Iris? Thank you. Sometimes I think she's 10 years old. I must be 5. Mario RPG! I love that game, bro. Alright, I gotta figure out what to do with this testimony. I still feel like there's something sussy about the third piece of evidence here, but I can't get my... Hang on, I can't get my... know? Like that looks really... I just don't know what it is. Let me save. Might need some help with this part. Let's try this. Let's try this.
Objection!
Do the jackaroo. Do the jackaroo. Do the stanky leg. So you're saying that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Winniebank, was wielding a gun, is that correct?
That's it, Gove. You got the picture. Yes, now she has no question.
And yet, photographic evidence obtained immediately after the incident clearly shows that Mr. Winniebank was not holding a firearm of any description.
You what? Golden Bennett, that ain't right.
Objection!
There can be no question that the victim's revolver was used in the incident. I would remind the court that Mr. Winniebank's gun was found at the scene. Not only was it identified as the murder weapon, but it was found in the accuser's hand.
Do the jackaroo.
Yeah, the mouth ruler used the victim's own gun to finish him off. Give me that gun. Bang. Kind of thing.
Hold it!
Hold it. Stay exactly where you are, right there. If the crime had taken place as you so colorfully described in your testimony, it would give rise to an undeniable significant inconsistency in the final moments you just acted out.
Goodness, are you sure, counsel?
You intrigue me, my learned friend, but let's see some evidence to support your claim. Where is the proof that demonstrates the inconsistency in the witness's portrayal of the victim's final moments?
Well, he was shot in the back, not in the chest. And that would be in the autopsy report, I do believe.
Take that!
Not 100% sure. According to their testimony, the witnesses claim to have heard a shout of "Give me that gun," followed by the gunshot.
Indeed, with the two events happening almost simultaneously, or so we've been led to believe.
Yes, that's right. Now, if that testimony is true, it would mean that at the moment of death, the victim and his attacker would have been facing each other. However, in the autopsy report, it clearly states that the victim died instantly from being shot from behind.
Oh.
So, as I stated before, due to Jackaroo, there is an undeniable inconsistency in your testimony, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin.
Yeah. Yeah. But, it's God on his truth. It is nice, it is, when he was shot that night. The shopkeeper had a gun in his hand. We saw it with our own bleeding eyes.
Did I hear you right just now? You actually saw Mr. Winniebank holding a gun?
Something like that slipped out, might have slipped out.
Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, you have all just heard the admission by these two witnesses that on the night in question they actually saw, with their own eyes, the victim wielding a gun. Which can only mean that despite their testimony to the contrary, the Skulkin brothers must have encountered the victim in person.
Oh, nice.
Order! Witnesses, explain yourselves at once.
Well, the thing is, we weren't supposed to,
It would seem my previous warning fell on deaf ears. I made it quite clear that false witness would be the death of you.
Oh.
Am I to understand that you replaced the untruths of your original testimony with renewed life?
Oh, I'm ever so sorry, Governor. Truth is, see, we have, cut it out, Dash, cut it out. If we blabbed out, you know what it'll do to us.
He? Who are they talking about?
Let me make your position here perfectly clear. You will talk. There is no other option available to you.
Oh. Proof, come on, the game's up. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Jackal New Year. Jackal will find your house and eat all your kids. He's a baddie from Halo and he has no conscience. The game's up, but we have guts for goddess.
In the case it hasn't quite sunk in yet, no matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth will come out.
Ugh.
On the night in question, it is now apparent that you brothers met face to face with the victim. I demand that you testify again to explain the precise circumstances under which this meeting took place.
Well, do we have to?
On pain of death. I suggest you make yourselves fully aware of this is your very last chance to tell the truth.
Witness testimony.
Encounter with the victim.
Alright, so we just got inside the gaff and had a sigh of relief when the geezer showed up his smoke. Give me that gun, he bellowed, and then he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we'd had it. For an old geezer, the bloke was strong as an ox. He choked me over the counter. I pulled my gun on him and then legged it for the door in the back room. We never had nothing with killing him. That's all what appeared, I swear, happened, I swear.
Huh, you liars.
So you're now telling us that moments before the victim was killed in the storeroom, you in fact encountered him in the main part of the show?
Yes, sorry.
Well, here we find ourselves in an interesting juncture. This changes matters considerably.
But to be honest, Governor, this time, Nash, this time we ain't got nothing more to hide.
Very well, counsel for defense. You may proceed with the cross-examination.
Yes, my lord. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for.
Yes! Yes!
Let me take a sip of water. My voice. Jackals are pirates, huh? Counter with the victim.
Alright, so we just got inside the gaff and heaved a sigh of relief when the geezer showed his smoke.
Let's press it. When you say geezer, I presume you mean the victim and proprietor of the shop, Mr. Windybank?
Who else? I'm sorry, I mean, yes, that's right. We was keeping a close eye on the entrance of the gaff, obviously, but we never thought no one was going to come out the back room like that.
The back room being pawnbrokery storeroom?
Yes, that must have been where he popped up from. Only place he could have been.
So it would seem the victim was already in the storeroom when those brothers entered the premises.
Which means Ginny must have been in there at that point as well.
But that doesn't make sense, does it? If Ginny had been threatened by Mr. Windybank into the storeroom with her at gunpoint, then why would he have emerged from the same room alone when the brothers arrived?
Oh, I don't know.
Did you see the accuser at the time?
What that Maury Tula couldn't tell you. No way, come on, we had bigger fish to fry then. I mean, the old geezer just lost it.
Are you a voice actor? Oh, hey, Dwight. Welcome back. No, but I enjoy doing it because it's fun. I'm a singer and a songwriter and a teacher. So I guess I like to perform a little bit, although I'm pretty bad at it. But wouldn't it be a cool job? I think it'd be really fun. I think it would be really fun, but it'd be hard to get into, I think. The competition must be fierce. But yeah, it's fun.
Give me that gun, he bellowed, and then flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we had it.
Hold it!
You mentioned that Mr. Windybank shouted those words in your previous testimony too. However, you claim that you heard him yelling them at the other side of the storeroom door.
Oh, did we?
But the truth is, he was shouting those words at you, wasn't he?
Yes.
Was the victim Mr. Windybank wielding a gun at the time?
Was he ever? Blimey lummy, the great barrel he had pointed straight at the frontispiece.
So what you're saying is, you definitely saw Mr. Windybank with a gun at the time, is that right?
It is, Gove, it is, spot on. Then all of a sudden he came at us, he did. It was bedlam, I didn't know he was going for who.
You were clearly all going for each other.
Like Nash said, we thought we'd had it, I mean. From an old geezer, that bloke was strong as an ox, he chucked me over the counter.
Yeah, I noticed that you mentioned the counter in your previous testimony too.
Well, yes, of course we did. He knocked over a load of books and a candlestick and some skull whatnot. That got tangled in some marionette, what knocked over a picture frame, what knocked over them scales on the floor.
So in fact, it wasn't the sound of the gunshot that shocked you and made you knock those things off the counter.
Well, Big Brother went flying over the counter like a gunshot, I can tell you, then the old geezer pinned him. He did, Nash, he did. If you'd have been here, the bloke would have flattened me like a blooming pancake in seconds.
At the time in question, the alarm was raised at the local police station via secret cable from the pawnbrokery. There is a button under the counter used to activate it, which was presumably pressed by the victim.
That's right. When the brothers fled the scene and back onto the street, they ran straight into the arriving police, didn't they?
Poor Mr. Windybank. He did everything he could to protect his shop.
I pulled me gun on him and then legged it through the door into the back room.
Oh, you went to the back room, did you? Were you intending to shoot Mr. Windybank?
No, never. I was just, looking out for me, bro, weren't I? He was being flattened, don't forget.
By a man whose shop was being burgled, yeah.
And then the man fled into the storeroom when you pointed your gun at him, is that it?
Yeah, that's it. He shoved me away, then ran off from the door and shut himself in.
Huh. There's something about that last remark. Something that doesn't quite ring true.
I wonder why Mr. Windybank went away through the storeroom.
What?
Well, according to what everyone's saying, Ginny was in there waiting for him with a gun.
Ah, yes, that's right. Gina allegedly used Mr. Windybank's gun to threaten him and force him to open the storeroom door. In which case, how did the gun end up in Mr. Windybank's hands again?
I have no idea, but it's strange, isn't it?
This little inconsistency could be significant. I should make a mental note of it.
Look, the point is, me bro here. That's right, Nash, that's right, me and me bro here. We never have nothing to do with killing him, that's all what happened, I swear.
You say you had nothing to do with it?
Nothing at all. Nothing, Gov, nothing. The old geezer went and shut himself in the back room, didn't he? Locked it was from the inside. We know it was, 'cause we tried to open it. But it's a decent door, that one, good and strong, wouldn't budge an inch.
So in the end, the situation remains unchanged.
Huh?
Inside the storeroom with the pawnbroker, there was only one other person. The sole person who could possibly have shot the victim, the accused, Mrs. Gina Lestraube.
It would indeed appear so. What say you to that, counsel?
I don't know. Was there anyone else part of Gina who could have possibly shot Mr. Windybank? I would say so. I would say so, yeah. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin.
Eh, what? What's that looking for?
From the moment you admitted that you'd encountered the victim face-to-face that night, the course of this trial has changed completely.
It did.
What is your point, my learned friend?
The question we must answer is who could have shot Mr. Windybank. It is the belief of the defense that the defendant is not only possible answer at all.
You have my attention. In that case, let us return to the plan of the premises. The victim was killed in the storeroom, which was locked from the inside. Those are the facts. So pray, what other possible answer to the question of who shot the man could there be?
Counsel, you must now provide answers to the court in respect to the two conundrums.
2, my lord? Twice as many chances to be right, maybe?
Indeed, namely, from what location did the culprit shoot the victim, and furthermore, where was the victim at the time?
Understood, my lord.
Are you alright, Runo?
I'm not entirely sure, but there's one thing I am sure about. If I can prove that there's credible new alternative to what happened, it would change Gina's prospects hugely.
So now, time for some clarity. Show the court on the plan the answers to the questions posed by his lordship. If you believe someone else could have killed the victim, indicate from where the person could have fired the gun.
Victim's in here. There's a hole through the door, so I'm guessing probably right around here. Maybe? I don't know. The defense believes that the culprit could have shot the victim from this location here.
And in answer to the second question, assuming the culprit fired from the location as indicated, where was the victim at the time?
Inside the room? Maybe? Maybe inside?
Take that!
I would imagine. I would guess. The culprit shot the victim from outside the storeroom.
Continue.
Mr. Winniebank died instantly from a bullet wound in his back. The music is awesome, bro. Looking at the stain of blood on the storeroom floor, it doesn't appear the body is moved after death, which tells us that he was almost certainly shot while he was in the storeroom. However, the crucial point is, where was the shooter when the fatal bullet was fired?
So you are adamant that the shot was fired from outside the storeroom?
Well, according to these Skulkin brothers' earlier testimony,
I pulled my gun on him and then legged it through the door to the back room.
Mr. Winniebank ran away through the door. We have to assume that the door was open at the time. It was at precisely that moment when the victim was fleeing for his life that the brothers had the perfect opportunity to shoot the man in the back when he was inside the storeroom.
Yeah, well. Come to think of it, do you remember what the prosecutor said at the start of the trial?
Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself.
Poor man, shot while he was running fast, he could to safety.
Of course. He would have been leaning forward as he was running away. So even the bullet was fired at horizontally, it would still have entered the body through an upward trajectory.
So the culprit isn't necessarily someone shorter than Mr. Winniebank.
I'm sure my learned friend can't have forgotten that the storeroom door was found closed and locked from the inside. You claim it was the victim who shot as he fled in the room. Do you also claim his corpse was dexterous enough to turn the key in the lock?
But... What if someone else locked the door? Yes, there is someone who could have locked the storeroom door.
Is that so?
Yeah, Gina.
Very well then, counsel. Present your hypothesis to the court. In the scenario just described, the defense's assertion that the victim was shot from the outside of the storeroom, in which case, who shut and locked the storeroom door from the inside? Oh, who could it have been? Was it Egbert Benedict? No. Was it Ringo? No.
I was in the Beatles, baby. It wasn't me, baby. All you need is love, honey. That's right, Buff. All you need is love.
Gina. Where Gina at? Am I just an idiot? Why I no see? Oh, here she is. Why I just walked over her portrait like 15 times, bro. What an idiot. Dum-dum. Obviously, the person who locked the door was the only other person inside the storeroom at the time. The defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
That's absurd! You're suggesting that the accuser deliberately engineered the sealed room! From what possible reason? Such actions would only serve to tighten the noose around her neck.
When I was a kid, my mom and dad didn't want me to play Halo, but I always said that you kill aliens instead of humans. Yeah. I was playing Doom when I was a little kid. I don't think my parents liked it, but whatever. You know, I know the difference between video games and real life. Plus, I don't really like guns in real life, so...
Yeah.
I'm inclined to agree, I must say. Well, counsel?
Yeah, that's a tricky one, isn't it?
Half-baked notions have no place in my courtroom, counsel. Remember that, please.
But of course Ginny would have locked the door. It almost goes without saying, doesn't it?
It does?
Well, if I was Ginny in that situation, I know I would have locked the door as quickly as I could. I mean, those two burglars had just fired a gun in her direction, hadn't they?
Oh yes, obviously. Before the two brothers arrived, Miss Lestrade and Mr. Winniebank were in the storeroom together. Now, I don't know what went on between them at the time, but at some point, Mr. Winniebank must have heard the intruders breaking into his shop and left the storeroom.
Intruders, eh? That's us, bro.
If your theory is correct, that would leave the accused alone in the storeroom.
Yes, it would. Then, probably only moments later, the victim fled back through the storeroom door, hoping to escape danger. Bang! There are 3 zombers in Doom. Hit in the back by the bullet, Mr. Winniebank fell to the floor where he was just inside the storeroom. And what we have to ask ourselves now is, what would the defendant have done in that moment?
Hey, I see where you're going with this.
Outside the storeroom was a terrifying killer who had just murdered Mr. Winniebank. As soon as that thought struck Miss Lestrade, she slammed the door shut and locked it. In order to save her own life.
Ah! But we ain't the ones who done it. We ain't, Gov, we ain't. You gotta believe us. I mean, come on, we never shot no one.
That's blatantly untrue. I know for a fact that you would, because before my own eyes, you shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Oh.
There is only one logical conclusion here. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin brothers had every opportunity to have been the true perpetrators of Mr. Winniebank's murder.
Oh boy, we're in trouble now.
Where does this leave us? You mean to say it wasn't the pickpocket who shot the pawnbroker after all?
Oh, I should have known it was these 3 brothers. They look shady as dense forest.
That was amazing, Bruno. All the members of the jury seem to be firmly on your side now.
I know, first time ever. And probably the last.
Well, I think you've done it. Surely they'll have to give a verdict of not.
An admirable effort, my learned friend.
Huh? What's this now? He's laughing?
You find the situation amusing, Lord Van Zeke? I myself find the defense's argument most persuasive.
Ah, more cup of blood, I dare say. Such chicanery is the bread and butter of street performers in your provincial eastern nation.
Excellent word, by the way. Chicanery. It's a real word. It means like, it's a good word. That's a good word. It means like tomfoolery. It means like silliness. It means like malevolent, like somebody's up to no good. Somebody's up to some tomfoolery. Somebody's up to no good is what that means. It's a good word. Also, that's racist. Can we stop that, please, Mr. Vampire?
But such blatantly malicious conjuring tricks amounts to nothing more than inexcusable pettifoggery here.
Another good word. What?
The hypothesis you put forward so ostensibly credibly cannot and will not stand. Because, you see, it contains a fatal flaw.
Probably the bullets. There's only 2 bullets. And one of them was in the direction of Mr. Herlock Sholmes. And how did the gun get in? A fatal flaw?
Do you mean to tell me you're unaware of your logic's failing? I say, Lord Van Ziegs, might be an idea to explain this bally conjuring trick or whatever it is the troops on the ground, huh? The fatal flaw in my learned friend's argument is really very simple to understand. Hadouken, assuming you're not too dim-witted to count bullet.
I knew it. Yeah, so that is the case. How in the world... There was a gun that fired at Mr. Herlock Sholmes. It's 1 bullet. Then there was a gun that killed the guy. That's the other bullet. And then the gun ended up inside. So they would have had to... And not only that, it was in her hands, too. Something sussy going on here. I don't know what it is, but we'll find out. Have you heard New Divide by Linkin Park? It's so good. No, I don't think I know it. Will you send it to me in Discord?
By George, count bullets.
Oh dear. He noticed then.
Huh? What's everyone talking about?
Counsel.
Yes, sir?
Tell the court how many bullets were found at the scene of the crime.
2 bullets.
Correct. The first, that which hit the victim in the back, ending his life. And the second, which struck the detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, on his arrival at the scene.
Indeed. The defense presented a picture showing the damage caused by the second bullet earlier in the proceedings.
The bullet which
injured Mr. Sholmes appeared to have passed through his body to strike this calendar.
Your lordship's understanding is correct. Furthermore, we know there are 2 firearms involved in the incident. The revolver belonging to the victim, Mr. Windybank, and the Skulkin Brothers revolver. The evidence shows that a single bullet was fired from each gun.
Yes, indeed it does. A single bullet from each.
Now then, my learned friend.
Huh?
You yourself told the court only moments ago.
What Linkin Park songs do I know? I have their first 2 albums, I think. Maybe not their first 2. I don't know what their first 2 really were, but I have Hybrid Theory, and then I have the album that has... I don't have any of the other ones that has...
It starts with love.
And it has...
I'm breaking the habit tonight.
Whatever that one is called, I can't remember. I have both of those albums. I think. I don't think I have any more.
Crawling in my skin. These words they will not hear.
Good stuff, though. Good songs.
That these 2 brothers shot Sherlock Holmes right before your eyes.
Yes, I did.
Oh my goodness, I think you'll find
That if the single bullet was fired from the brothers gone hit Mr. Sholmes, it means...
Windybank not shot by same gun. Stop. Only 1 bullet. Stop. I painted on the wall.
Yeah, Breaking the Habit's good, yeah.
Exactly. Yes, the Nipponese street performer presented an ostensibly credible argument. However, it was never anything more than a diversionary trick with no hope of standing up to screw.
Order, order, order!
Oh, that's how we make it. Drop it like it's hot back in the Vampire Transylvania. You just throw the bottle over your head and everybody drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot to get the girls in their hot.
I don't know what I'm fighting for or why I have to scream. Dum dum bum 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 bum. I don't know how it got this way. Know it'll be alright. But I'm breaking the habit tonight.
Please forgive my discourtesy of flinging these dregs of this hallowed nectar into the public gallery.
Oi! Hey, this man Zeke's just hit me with a bottle of wine. I'm gonna sue him. Yeah!
That's right. He just chucked a bottle of wine right at my abdomen. It might have hit me in the pecker. I'm going to mail this guy in. Oh, he's going to get in trouble now. Lord Van Zeeks, is it true you just chucked a bottle of wine and hit somebody in the pecker? Oh!
But this court needs to open its eyes. The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, is no ordinary girl. Despite her young years, she can regrettably no longer be described as a juvenile. No, the person in the dog is far from a law-abiding citizen. She has a past riddled with criminal conduct.
Oh.
The truth is, the accused broke into the pawnbrokery on the night in question with loathsome intent.
Luigi's Mansion parody is where you heard Breaking the Habit? Holy shit, dude. That's crazy.
As we can see beyond a doubt in this prints which depicts her threatening the victim with a murder weapon.
Oh!
And I have here in my possession one more piece of evidence the prosecution wishes to present.
Huh? That disc?
I'll be taking that whatsoever, McGilda's down to the yard. Thank you very much.
No, don't. Don't give it to him. It's mine, that is. It's mine.
I'm sorry, miss. But anything belonging to McGilda has to be taken into evidence now.
Yes, that music box disc. McGilda's music box disc.
The very day before the hateful murder of Mr. Windybank, the accused's attempt to make off with this article which clearly doesn't belong to her, and with none of the subtlety of a pickpocket, I might add, but by brute force and brazen impudence. Good gracious. Good gracious.
Oh, baby.
Make no mistake, any sympathy for the accused on account of her years is misguided and dangerous. There are no depths to which the girl would not stoop if pushed, no crime she would not commit.
Before Minecraft, Mario parodies were everywhere on YouTube. No shit. Minecraft, Mario parodies, huh? I like the evil Sonic parody. I bet you quite like that as well, don't you, Jackal? It's me, Mario, my boss. I'm gonna fuck you up. Oh, rat-a-tat-tat, bitches. I bet you like the Sonic parody. It's pretty funny, huh? I don't think I've ever seen it all, but it's long.
The court forgets what is at peril.
Sonic is evil, yeah. Yeah, it's a good one, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I see. To think it would be prudent to take this music box disc into evidence, counsel, as a grim testament to the defendant's character. Lord Van Zeeks,
Inspector Gregson? What?
Yes, Inspector.
We had a meeting yesterday at the yard with the prosecution service, and, I think it was agreed the disc would not be used as evidence.
What's this all about? Why is this inspector acting all strangely? That's the first time he said anything to Van Zeeks at all.
I am unaware of any such meeting.
But those were the instructions right from the top. The government's bigwigs were insistent.
Inspector, I am the prosecutor and I alone determine how to present my case. Your warning is noted, thank you.
The
prosecution wishes to proceed with submitting this disc as evidence, my lord.
Indeed, bailiff.
The music box disc has been entered into the court record. The prosecution has established the accuser's motive, opportunity, and baseness of character.
Oh, really? This is the one with the blood on it, right? Also, let's take a look at the stereoscope. We haven't looked at this yet. We may need it.
You have to pop your 2 prints in here to start with, you see.
And then, when you look through the eyepieces, you can see the image at 3 dimensions.
The important thing to get right is the position of the 2 prints.
You want a Minecraft stream? I don't love Minecraft. It's fun, but I'm not really the hugest fan. I streamed it for like a month and I got tired of it. Also, every time I would play the game, my files would become corrupted and I would lose them because I was too stupid to make backup files. So I started over all the time. It was fun though. There were some kids in there, young men and women, who showed me all sorts of cool stuff, like building roller coasters and under cave bases and stuff. Really cool stuff, honestly. Okay. Open it up.
Oh, look at that.
It's totally changed shape, just from one little button press.
Well, that is what the button's for, Runo. You're just like Hurley. You boys love pressing buttons, don't you? Especially if you don't know what they do.
Us boys, says the 10-year-old girl.
Anyway, now you can see that it really is a stereoscope, can't you?
Yes, indeed we can.
I don't know how I got this way. No, I'll be alright. 'Cause I'm breaking the habit tonight.
Oh, Runo, look.
This is blood?
This is blood.
Yeah, you're right. Just a small smear, but it's definitely blood. Actually, I feel as though I might have noticed this before.
Ah, then it's my time to shine again. I thought it'd be waiting forever.
All right. Hold still with that disc, Runo. Can't we get this done quickly, Iris?
In a flash.
I'm going to see whose blood it is. Green.
Oh, a lovely bright shade again.
Huh? Wait, the color.
What is it?
It's just that green. It's not the first time we've seen that color, is it? Blood samples have been added in the profile. Are you beating the game? Today? No. But we should be getting close. I bet on the next stream. I bet on the next episode of this we will finish it. Yeah. Should be getting pretty close though, I think. For McGilded.
That's the man you defended in court a couple months ago, isn't it, Runo?
Yeah, or rather, mistakenly defended.
I wonder what his name is doing on the back of this disc.
That's a question I'd love to know the answer to myself. Alright, so who's the green blood? Let's look at the blood evidence here. Unknown color. Oh, that's crazy. The green is on the same color that's on the calendar is on, and we know it's not the Mason. We know it's not Windy Bank. The same color is on the desk. Who could it be? Who could it be?
There is nothing more to add. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I await your informed decisions and rest my case.
I don't believe it. I had the jury on my side for once, for all of 5 minutes.
Oh dear, it wasn't even for 5 minutes, Runo.
My lord, I wonder if I might say something at this point.
Proceed, Mr. Foreman.
Been stumbling about in a bit of a fog up now, if truth be told, but all of a sudden... The answer's bally obvious to me and my men. There's only one thing for it.
Uh-oh.
Very well, the court will hear from the jury. Ladies and gentlemen, do you will present your leanings as defendant's culpability?
Guilty.
Uh-oh.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118,
We have a consensus among the jury, it seems.
When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth.
That's my line. I wrote that for Hurley. Ah, how dare you use it against us?
Don't worry, Iris. I don't think we're finished yet. There's still more to this case than we realize. There must be, because there's one thing that I'm absolutely certain of. Gina didn't shoot Mr. Winniebank. That's beyond any doubt.
Very well. We will proceed with the second summation examination of the day. Mr. Foreman, are you and the other jurors ready?
Garrett Deb's squadron is primed and ready for action, sir.
Very good.
Are you beating the game? Probably not today. Probably next episode.
So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on which grounds you have now determined the defendant to be guilty. Ah, get on it, bitches.
Judicial findings. The jurors' contentions.
Poor Chester, indeed, man.
Once a rogue, always a rogue, I say. Different breed to his law-abiding citizens.
As only 2 bullets were found at the scene, I would say the whole case is done and dusted.
Oh, you don't need a stereoscope to see the truth here. Either way you look at it, it was that pickpocket.
Oh, I'd never imagined that a simple operation would cause me such grief.
The accused attempted theft on the previous day. I can see him in for a busy day ahead.
I am ballistics expert. I've seen many shooting. There is nothing I do not know about gun.
Yes, my mouse also know about gun. I feed him gun bullet as pellet. He grow nice big and fat. He also die very early, but he big gun in Russia, big mousey.
Depression is a B, dude. Yeah, it's no joke. For sure.
Oh, it would seem there's little remaining room for doubt.
I have to admit it, rather bowled over by the argument put forward by the chap in black, but when that fell apart like a house of cards, I saw that jolly well been hoodwinked. Well, no more.
The whole courtroom is turning against me.
It's not fair.
Iris?
That prosecutor's being mean. Just because Ginny's done some things she shouldn't have in the past, that doesn't make her a murderer.
Cup of blood, allow me to savor in this fruity vintage while I savor the spectacle of your fruitless debate on the matter. Here's to the truth coming out, eventually.
That's enough preamble. Counsel, proceed with the summation examination. Bitch.
Let's go.
Dun 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 dun.
Mortal Kombat! Yes, my lord.
Mortal
Kombat!
Jury examination. The defense's rebuttal.
Once a rogue, always a rogue, I say. Different breed to his law-abiding citizens.
Should we press everything? I'm honestly not sure. I guess we'll press them. Why not? Oh, my controller get disconnected.
Hold it!
Depression can cause a lot of deaths. Oh, it's terrible, dude. Mental illness is absolutely a big problem right now, and at least in my country. I don't know how it is for you up there in Sweden, but it's a big problem here, for sure. It's really sad, actually. I feel like people are starting to get more open about therapy and stuff, though, which is good, you know? But, yeah. You know, people are less ashamed now to admit that they're seeing a therapist and stuff. I mean, that's good. But yeah, it's a huge problem, for sure. Just because Miss Lestrade has a history of pickpocketing, she must be guilty of murder? Is that what you're saying?
Ah, well.
Are you all members of the British Army, so quick to judge?
I beg your pardon. Are you mocking Her Majesty's Armed Forces, the greatest military organization in the world?
No, I'm simply illustrating my point.
Oh?
Making assumptions about people because they're a soldier or a pickpocket is wrong and dangerous.
Well, yes, you might have a point there, I suppose. But let's not forget the girl had already shown she had it in her from before. She's clearly a criminal sort, and through, can't deny it.
When you say that she'd been shown she had it in her, you're referring to this?
Exactly. Tried to swipe that one a day earlier. My mistake.
Not exactly. Given that I was actually there at the time, it's hard to refute that. Big problem in the whole world? Yeah, I believe you.
I've never actually seen the real thing. Can't wait to have a close look at it.
Oh, yes, of course. I already did.
Mr. Sholmes did use his caramel bars to make a copy of the disc, didn't he?
And then ordered every type of music box he could to find across Europe.
We still don't know what tune it plays, though, do we? But I'd love to see how the original compares to Hurley's copy.
McGilded's disc. Could it be a clue somehow? Perhaps we should examine it in more detail. Already have.
As only 2 bullets were found at the scene, I would say the whole case is done and dusted.
Let's press you. It's the number of bullets that has you convinced?
Only 2 bullets were fired, and the only 2 guns fired have been examined by the police. When the parlor maid asked me how many are invited for dinner, I always tell her to count the table settings.
Well, that's logical, I suppose.
Although,
Yes.
sometimes after dining, crockery does go missing. 1 or 2 guests rather like fine china.
Does your employer dine with thieves?
So I suppose, if there were another bullet somewhere of which we were unaware, I'd have to reconsider my position.
A third bullet somewhere on the scene? Could that be possible? Oh, I'd say it's possible. For now. But I don't know where it is. Yeah, maybe. We gotta find another bullet. Unfortunately, only 2 bullets were discovered by the police during their investigation.
Yes, I know.
Right.
And I don't imagine the good men of Scotland Yard would have overlooked anything. If I missed a bullet while I was cleaning his lordship's office, well, I should receive a sound scolding, I don't doubt.
And he should receive a visit from the police, perhaps. It sounds like a crime scene to me.
A third bullet? It would completely turn things around if there was one, wouldn't it? Do you think we might find one lying around somewhere?
Maybe. Maybe.
You don't need to Stereoscope to see the truth here. Every which way you look at it, it was that pickpocket.
You think? I don't know. Alright, let's press number 4 here. Would you please stop muttering about things that have nothing to do with this trial, sir? The defendant's life is on the line here.
Well, the thing is, I couldn't really say that it's nothing to do with this trial, to be honest.
Huh?
I mean, there's no question that the man was shot, but the bullet simply vanished from his stomach. It's quite inexplicable, don't you think?
Huh? I almost don't want to ask, but this surgery you've been muttering on about this whole time, you were operating on...
What was the fellow's name now? Herlick? No Herlock, no Hairlock.
Herlock Sholmes by any chance?
Yes, good lord. It was Hairlock, fellow.
A what? You're the surgeon that operated on Mr. Sholmes?
That's right, using the very latest anesthesia techniques, I might add. I was fairly major op, I can tell you.
This is crazy.
Let me see. The fellow was brought in not long after midnight, if I remember correctly. They said he'd been shot by some criminal or other, so I opened him up like a shot. But the funny thing is, I went over his insides with a fine-tooth comb and couldn't find the bullet anywhere. So I'm afraid I had to throw up my hands in the air and just stitch the fellow back up.
Huh? I hate to state the obvious, but...
Yes?
Surely that's because the bullet is still at the scene of the shooting.
The counsel for defense is correct, as is clearly shown in the photographic print. The bullet that the Skulkin brothers fired at Mr. Sholmes hit him in the stomach region, then exited his body and lodged in the shop wall where the calendar was hanging by the door.
I think you'll find it really quite simple if you just consider the problem three-dimensionally.
Who do you think I am, son?
In the end, you only regret the chances you didn't take. True! Very wise, Jackal. That's very true. If you take a chance and you mess up, well, at least you tried, right? I agree. Very true. Well, juror number 4 is about the best I can do.
As soon as I saw the wound in the man's stomach, I flipped him over.
Like a pancake? Are you saying that you checked his back?
Of course I did, and there wasn't a trace of injury. No sign the bullet had left the body at all.
What?
That's the point. The only logical conclusion was that the bullet was still somewhere in the man's innards, which is exactly what I said about slicing him up. And I'm still none the wiser, even now. How many times do I have to say it? Can somebody please explain how it happened? Can somebody please solve the mystery?
Yo. That bullet that was in the clock was not the bullet that shot Holmes. There's a third bullet. Very nice. It's almost as much of a mystery as the jury was put together. Okay, I think I understand.
The mystery of where the bullet ended up is infuriating. Where's an expert when you need one?
Oh, I know where one is. Let's go you against you.
Objection!
Let's see what happens here. These two statements clearly contradict the idea that all I have to do is pit two jurors against each other.
Oh, a ballistics expert.
Pitting, but P-I-T-T.
On the night in question, Mr. Sholmes was shot by one of the Skulkin brothers. But since there was no sign of exit wound on his back, we must assume that the bullet did not pass through him. However, no bullet was found lodged in Mr. Sholmes' body either. Furthermore, a bullet was found lodged in the wall of the shop where Mr. Sholmes was shot.
Juror number 6.
Hello, my name is Whelan. Proceed, pleased to meet you.
This apparent contradiction in the facts is so clearly troubling juror number 4. Are you able to explain the mystery?
Oh, I have seen very similar situation in motherland.
Huh?
It was night. There was blizzard. I was running away along mountain road in freezing cold.
Golly.
The snow was piling high on both sides of road. It was very narrow and dangerous. My pursuers had hunting rifles and were on dog sled.
Mental note. Don't ask too many questions.
I was shot from behind and fell down in snow. And the situation was very similar to what I hear today from doctor.
Very deep indeed, Jekyll.
They could not find bullet in my body. And no sign of, how do you say, exit wound.
Then where did the bullet go?
Bullet never hit me.
Well, if it never hit you, why did you fall down?
Bullet hit frozen wall of ice very close to my side.
What?
One small piece very sharp broke away from lump of ice and pierced body. It made deep wound that looked just like bullet wound.
Good gracious.
So the bullet hit something else. Huh. Weird.
Of course, piece of ice quickly melted inside me, and that is solution to mystery of disappearing bullet.
But that doesn't answer the question at all.
Huh?
The shooting happened at the pawnbroker's shop. Not some snowy mountain road in another country.
If you don't give food to the Covenant, they will give you a copyright strike on YouTube. The Covenant's a Yakuza? Yo, but I'm playing Yakuza games. I'm giving all the Covenant all the pub they need. They're gonna come after me, chat. Call the Fibbies. Call the FBI. Just an idea. But we've been looking exactly the same scenario here.
Bruno, where exactly was Hurley shot again?
Well, according to the report, in his stomach, sort of around this area, I think.
Well, that's precisely where he always wears a little pouch on his belt.
A pouch? Actually, I might have noticed something like that.
Yes, a pouch. It's where he keeps 3 glass vials of very dangerous chemicals he uses in his investigations.
What? Really?
Doctor, where's the pouch Mr. Sholmes was wearing? Well, the fellow had nothing like that on his person when he arrived at the hospital as far as I can remember.
You're a spy working for them? Oh, no.
If I may say.
Lord Van Zeeks? Well, I realize it's forbidden for prosecution to interject during a summation examination. I should inform the defense that I have the pouch in question in the antechamber outside the courtroom. Sorry. As I understand it, when the police arrived on the scene and found Mr. Sholmes injured, they removed the pouch in order to assess the wound. Ah, thank goodness! I thought I was getting forgetful for a moment. Since then, it has been in my safekeeping along with all other evidence relating to the case. I can personally vouch for the fact that it has not been touched since the incident occurred.
Very well. While extremely inconventional during a summation examination, I must demand the prosecution presents this item in question with all speed. Bring forth Mr. Sherlock Holmes' pouch. Wow! I see. So the pouch is worn by Mr. Sholmes on the night in question, is it?
Oh, maybe one of the vials was the thing that broke and hurt him. Got shot in the vial. Look at that. One of the vials is broken, and the leather around it is scorched black. It's almost as if the vial exploded.
Exploded?
So, that night, the bullet from the Skulkin brothers' gun struck Mr. Sholmes' pouch.
And it was the glass vial exploding that caused the fellow's injury.
This bullet did not penetrate victim. It was deflected into wall of shop.
Ah.
A delightfully complex aroma.
You're getting tired? Are ya? Well, thanks for staying up. I know it's quite late over there. What time is it? Almost midnight for you, Jackal?
Well, it would appear one mystery has been solved at least.
Though it has no bearing on the truth of this case.
Huh?
The bungling and burgling brother shot the detective and the accuser shot the pawnbroker. The pertinent facts of the case still remain unaltered.
Ah.
But at least this mystery is solved. I can sleep easy tonight.
You have school tomorrow? Oh. Well, I appreciate you staying up and hanging out with me, Jackal. Thank you.
Thank you, young man.
Thank you very much.
Glad I could help.
Due to its bearing on the conundrum to solve, the court will sequester the scruffy pouch as evidence.
Ah, Hurley's pouch isn't scruffy.
Sholmes' pouch has been entered in the court record.
Now, the summation examination.
All right, let's take a look at this here pouch. Let's take a look at this here pouchy. It's really scorched badly here.
Oh, the strap is broken, look.
This must be where the bullet hit then.
Let me see.
There it is. It's the third bullet. Pog, we found it. What the? Iris, look. Behind where the broken vial was, do you see it?
Ah, that's the Skulkin brothers' bullet.
What a stroke of luck that it hit his pouch. This is an amazing discovery. What this means is, there were 3 bullets fired at Windybanks that night.
We found exactly what the juror was talking about.
The third bullet. It's time to press the jurors again, I think. Yo, we got the bullet. Vita's an alien. Don't tell my secret, bro. Don't tell my secret, bro. Is there anything on the back here? Oh, look! There's a hole here at the back. It doesn't look much like a bullet hole, but clearly something's ripped through the leather with great force.
Something must have pierced it somehow that left this hole behind.
Yeah, it looks that way. Mr. Sholmes and his pouch both took a beating, didn't they? Exposed. Don't tell my secret. I'm actually from the Covenant. And I have been hearing, Jackal, that there are people here in the Covenant that are very sussy with you. They see you going out there and betraying the Covenant.
There shall be a trial. Now the summation examination. It would appear the defense is somewhat struggling to have throughout their opinion, huh?
Please, my lord, a little more time. After all, that's a new piece of evidence. It could be a valuable clue, and I can't afford to overlook anything here, Inosuke. There's still a way to turn this around. Somehow, I'm sure of it. Alright. So we have the new bullet. Yeah, so who was talking about? There was one of these people that was talking about, was it you who was looking for only 2 bullets? Yeah. Yeah. We should be able to press you again, I think.
Hold it!
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, we've already read this, so I'm not going to read it again. If there were another bullet. And now we got to present the bullet. Third bullet somewhere at the scene. Could that be possible? Yes, indeed. I can prove it. Allow me to show you this, then.
Take that!
Take that! Here it is. We discovered it just now. Yes, on the night in question at Windy Bank's Pawnbrokery, another bullet was fired.
Hold it! What is this new trickery, you Nipponese conjure? Where did you find that bullet?
It was lodged inside Mr. Shoma's pouch.
What?
This pouch was removed from around Mr. Shoma's waist before it was taken to the hospital, and since then it has been touched by no one.
Do you mean to say that the shot fired by the Skulkin brothers that night?
Yep, as your lordship surmised, it hit his pouch.
That makes no sense whatsoever. We already know the whereabouts of the bullet fired at Mr. Soames. It's clearly visible in this photographic print.
Ah! 2 guns from the scene have already been submitted into the court record as evidence?
Yes, that of Mr. Winniebank and that belonging to the Skulkin brothers.
An examination of both guns revealed that only a single bullet had been fired from each.
Oh! But that was mean!
That's right. The guy in your profile, is that you? Yeah. Yeah, that's me. Although that photo is quite old. Yes. That photo is probably quite a few years old now. I should probably change it. Let me see. When was this? This was taken from a newspaper interview that I gave about my music. Let me look it up. It's quite a long time ago. Let me see when that was taken. Oh my god, 8 years ago. Ah, man. Oh man. I should probably change it. That's right. We now know that the one night in question, 3 bullets were fired. However, only 2 bullets were fired from the guns recovered from the crime scene, and until that incontrovertible inconsistency is somehow explained, we cannot and must not pass judgment.
Ah! Oh! My beating heart needs more virgin blood!
Order! While this summation examination remains incomplete, the court has been presented with new facts. Facts that would appear to shake the very foundation upon which this case against the defendant has been built.
Oh!
As is my prerogative in this situation, I hereby temporarily suspend the summation examination.
By Jupiter!
Huh?
Bailiff, bring the witness back to the stand at once.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, it's been old. I do have some newer photos of me on the Instagram in the description, but mostly on my Instagram I like to take pictures of like travel stuff and not me, myself. But sometimes.
Witnesses!
Governor!
Were you listening to the proceedings when the defense carried out the summation examination?
We was, Governor, we was.
Perhaps we can dispense with the tedious preamble. Simply answer this one question. A third bullet was identified at the scene of the crime. What do you make of that?
Make of it, Gov. I don't make nothing of nothing if I can help it,
Is it one of yours?
Blabbery, Gov, God blamery. Not a chance.
In that case, did you have an accomplice?
What? Eh, what? Never. The Sculpkin brothers work alone. It's just the two of us, that's our trademark. I'm Ringo from the Beatles.
How soon we forget poor Sulky.
Only 2 of the bullets from the crime scene originated from the firearms we have in evidence. The third bullet was fired from another gun. Where is it?
Lummy, that's an head scratcher.
Well, counsel for the defense?
Yeah.
I should like to hear your thoughts regarding these new developments. The third bullet and the mysterious missing firearm from whence it came.
Thinking back over the testimony we've heard, all the evidence we've seen, I think I'm starting to form a picture of what really happened that night. My lord, I think it's clear where this third bullet tells us about the Skulkin brothers. Huh. Another gun? Nothing to do with them or a secret accomplice? I'm thinking secret accomplice is my guess, but it could be another gun. But I'm guessing there's a third accomplice, and if I had to guess, it's the police chief, which would be bad. I don't know if this is correct though. I might get penalized for this. On that night at Windy Bank's pawnbrokery, the brothers must have been working with a third man. The witnesses are clearly doing their best to cover up for the existence of this accomplice, but the evidence points to the fact that there was someone else present, someone carrying a gun.
Objection!
Objection. An accomplice, you say? Pig's wheel. Huh? These protracted proceedings have already forced us to endure 2 summation examinations, yet in all of that time there has been not a murmur of a third man. Is this apparently wraith-like being exists? I would see him in my dreams, for I am also Lord Voldemort! Ha 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 ha! All of you muggles cower in fear! The Dark Lord has returned!
I'm sorry, Dark Lord, you're going to have to wait till the Harry Potter game comes out next year, so you're going to have to shut your trap and get back to lawyering.
But I am the Dark Lord of Blood!
I don't give a shit. Sit back down, Mr. Dark Lord. Take your magic stick, put it up your bumhole, and get on with this court proceedings, okay?
This hard court must be shown hard evidence. Without it, the fantasy will be crushed.
Huh?
The prosecution demands answers on 2 counts. Firstly, proof evidence that this accomplice was ever the scene of the crime. And secondly, the identity of the spurious character.
The Skulkins are lying, I know that. But how can I ascertain the identity of the person they've hiding?
Well, counsel?
I'm supposed to prove the existence of this accomplice and reveal the person's identity even? In response to the prosecution's demand, my lord, the defense is... Ooh, are we ready to present answers? Well, we know there's a third person because of the blood. But who the hell is it? I don't know. The defense is ready. I believe I can provide all the answers the prosecution demands.
So, my Nipponese friend, despite the swimming eyes, you seem to think you've something to say. This promises to be interesting.
I have to push forward now. There's no other option. I need to use every single piece of evidence available to me if it would make a difference.
In that case, counsel, I would ask you to present the evidence without delay. On the night in question, in the moments leading up to the death of the victim, what proof do you have that there was a third intruder present at the scene?
Well, we have the blood, but it doesn't tell us who it is. Yeah, we know there's evidence here. The evidence is right here in this portfolio.
By Jove, that portfolio again, is it?
Do you expect the court to rifle through your papers itself? Be more specific. You claim one of those blood samples proves the presence of a third intruder. Well, which one is it?
No. It's this one, right?
Take that!
It's this one, right?
What am I looking at here? There appears to be some green paint or such like around the bullet hole in the middle of the calendar.
That's bloodstain, my lord.
A bloodstain?
Green blood, curious even for you. Is the court to understand that the intruder was some sort of inhuman creature? It was a jackal! There was a jackal in the courtroom. Get him! He was at the scene of the crime. He used his shield and he used his gun to shoot him. Green blood.
It's something developed by Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
By the great detective. New invention, stop, not yet appeared in stories, stop. It's this, you see. It doesn't have a name yet, though. The fogger sprays a chemical that reacts with different elements in people's blood to change its color.
Different elements of people's blood?
Yes, everyone's blood is slightly different, you see, because it's made of different elements. So by seeing what color this changes, you can tell in the flesh whose blood it is.
Oh, that brings a whole extra dimension to looking at blood.
Talk of blood in courtroom, stop, very exciting, stop.
As an example, this one shows the blood of the victim, Mr. Windybank.
Ah, striking blue. Ah.
Yeah, so you see the green color of this blood stain on the calendar? Shows that somebody else was shot in the main part of the shop.
Oh, now hold fire there, young man. Could it be from some unrelated incident, couldn't it?
No, it's not unrelated.
Oh?
The date showing the calendar is the date in which Mr. Windybank was killed.
By golly!
Therefore, we can assume that whoever was shot on the same day.
Then whose blood is it?
Well, the Skulkin brothers in the stand don't appear to be suffering from any gunshot injuries. Which means it must be the blood of somebody else. The third intruder, in fact.
Objection!
Whose identity the court is still waiting to hear. You can't delay this any longer, my learned friend. Who is this alleged third intruder?
You know, it's not her, it's not him, not her, not her. Eggert. Could also be Gregson. Could be Strongheart, I doubt it.
It is me, Baron von Zeeks.
It's gotta be one of these two. Should I save? Can I save? Yeah, we can save. Let's double check. I'm guessing... It's very difficult to say, honestly. But if I had to guess, the most sussy boy is Eggert.
Take that!
So let's say it was him. The man's name is Eggert Benedict.
Eggert Benedict? What are you talking about, counsel?
He paid a visit to Windybank's pawnbrokery on the afternoon before the incident took place.
When the accuser attempted to deceive the pawnbroker into releasing the article into her possession.
That's right.
Well,
the man identified by the defense, Mr. Eggert Benedict, then attempted to take the article from the defendant by force.
Broker?
oh, yes, sir?
I believe this filthy pickpocket has redeemed an article from you, no?
Yes, sir.
The article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once.
Now that's a lie. What you trying to pull?
Give me back my overcoat, you wastrel, and needless to say, any music box discs too.
Inspector Gregson was there at the time and can attest to what happened. In the end, it was the inspector himself who took the disc.
Can you corroborate this account, Inspector?
Yes, my lord, that's more or less what happened. And in the interest of being thorough, I asked Windybank for a print showing the fella. Taken from one of his red-handed recorders, governess.
Yes, that's him talking to Mr. Windybank that morning.
And you claim this man is brother's accomplice?
Well, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin.
Oi! Never seen that geezer in me life. On me life, Gov, on me life, never seen him.
Well, somewhat unsurprisingly, it appears our witnesses disagree with your assertion.
I'm sure your lordship recalls my learned Nipponese friend's actual assertion, which was that he could prove the identity of the alleged accomplice.
Yep, and I can.
Then show us the evidence. I agree. We must prove the clean-cut gentleman in the photograph is the filthy criminal you say he is.
This is the last piece of evidence. I've had a feeling that something has been missing in this trial from the very start. But now, I'm going to drag it, kicking and screaming, into the courtroom.
Are you ready to present your answer to the court then, counsel?
Yep, my lord, the defense will present evidence now. Proof that the man pictured in this photographic print was in fact the person struck by the third bullet. Music box disc, perhaps? I think probably is the answer.
Take that!
I believe so. Has this same blood on it. As I mentioned before, on the afternoon of the day in question, the defendant attempted, deceitfully admittedly, to reclaim his disc from Windybanks.
Which is when the aforementioned Egg Benedict, Egg Benedict, what a silly name, tasty breakfast though, oh, baby, I'd eat all the Benedict's eggs, appeared on the scene, I believe. This man attempted to purloin the article from the defendant's possession, though.
That's correct, my lord. I myself was present at the time. I was following a minor incident that occurred.
Oh, but of course, sir. Here's the disc for you.
Oh. Very well. Then I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to style.
Wait a minute, that disc is mine.
Oh, what do you think you're doing, you little tramp? You've drawn blood, you filthy animal.
Being a music box disc, it has countless small but sharp metal protrusions over its surface. Those protrusions caused Mr. Benedict's finger to bleed, and the resulting smear of blood is still visible on the disc now.
Goodness, a blood stain is it?
My assistant and I have just analyzed the blood stain here in this very courtroom.
Using my trusty fogger gun.
Yes, and we've added the results to this portfolio.
I say,
It's green.
It's exactly the same color as the blood around the calendar. Oh.
The evidence is conclusive. The man calling himself Mr. Eggert Benedict, who was in Mr. Windybanks earlier that day, is the accomplice who was present at the scene of the crime that same night.
So there was someone in there. Look at those two brothers now. They're sweating buckets. Oi, what are you talking about? It's boiling in here.
My lord, it is the opinion of the defense that Mr. Eggert Benedict should be summoned to the courtroom to testify.
It would certainly seem that we can ill afford to ignore this gentleman's apparent presence.
Objection!
This has gone on long enough now. The flagrant ignorance of the mechanics of law.
Huh?
Sherlock Holmes, you say? Yes, I've heard the name. The protagonist in a series of short stories for the vulgar classes, a god of detection or some such. And now you employ chemical substances devised by this fantastical persona in the highest court of the land. Do you expect us to take you seriously? The samples made by this plaything are not fit to be called evidence.
Huh?
So the bloodstain turned the shade of green. What of it? Here's to your successfully proving that no other blood in the world would turn the same color.
Well...
Hadouken, I give you my leggy, and pray do not think of suggesting we should take Mr. Sholmes' word for it.
I don't know. I mean, he is a great detective. What are you talking about? We can't let him get away with it.
I knew it would come down to this. Of course, Mr. Sholmes' invention isn't going to be recognized by any official body. But, what other choice did I have?
I'm just remembering what Father Christmas over there said before. About how he was temporarily suspending the summation examination. In other words,
Father Christmas.
the examination isn't over yet, is it?
Good grief, what did you say, young girl? Father Christmas? Ho, 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 mama, I'll put a big log in your stocking, baby. Oh, ho, ho. Ah.
And in the summation examination, the decision as to whether or not the trial continues is in the hands of the 6 jurors, isn't it?
Oh.
So the way I see it, it doesn't matter what certain other people think of Hurley's invention. At least, not for now.
Yes, she's right.
Young lady, you have quite the devious mind.
This really just comes down to one thing. Whether these ladies and gentlemen of the jury are convinced by what you say, Bruno. Is that about right, would you say? Or did I misunderstand something?
She's a genius. Unbelievable. Mr. Sholmes' partner is a force to be reckoned with.
Iris Wilson, sharpshooter. Bang, bang. 360 no-scope, bitches, right in the court of law. Don't come at me with them white vans. I know what I'm doing.
After that shrewd process of the situation from an entirely unexpected source, it must be acknowledged that the previous summation examination has yet to reach its conclusion.
This is absurd.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court now looks to you for your final leanings in the matter. As proud citizens of Her Majesty's Britain, I'm sure you will come to a fair and just conclusion.
Oi!
So then, stage your final decisions in turn, please.
Not guilty.
Ooh!
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Let's go.
Guilty.
Not guilty.
Yo. Let's go.
2 call guilty and 4 call not guilty. Such is the outcome of the summation examination.
My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage. The prosecution refuses to accept this decision.
On what grounds?
If these jurors are persuaded by some half-baked concoction devised by a pretender to read police work, then they are too ignorant to be trusted with the judgment of someone's guilt.
That is very rude.
I'm sorry, Lord Van Zees, but the outcome of the summation examination cannot be ignored. This trial will continue.
Oh, strikes to the heart. Oh, and you're to blame. You give love a bad name. You go this way and you play your game. You give love a bad name. Oh, I'm shivering in my coffin.
Nevertheless, we find ourselves in a rather awkward situation. The defense has very reasonably requested the subpoena of a new witness. But sadly, I fear that will be impossible.
Huh? What?
The name of the gentleman gave for himself, Egbert Benedict, is quite clearly false.
I don't believe it. Just when I managed to prove the man was in there that night.
Could I say something?
Huh? Who was that, please? Who spoke?
It was me, my lord.
Juror number 5?
What have you to say, madam?
If possible, Inspector.
Ain't me, ma'am.
I wonder if you might show the photographic print to me again, the one in which the gentleman is shown.
All right, yes, this one you mean, of Mr. Benedict.
Ah. Oh, yes. There's no doubt in my mind.
Juror number 5? You don't mean to say you know this man?
Yes, I know him.
What?
No.
Good gracious! Order! Juror number 5, how on earth?
I am a communications officer. Stop.
As we can clearly see,
The gentleman in the photograph is... Stop. Also a communications officer. Stop. He works in my office. Stop. A very talented officer, in fact. Stop. He should be in the communication station now. Stop. Tapping away on the telegraph. Stop.
this doesn't seem right somehow. I can't put my finger on why, but it doesn't feel right.
I suppose we all imagine the accomplice to be some sort of hardened criminal. It's a bit unexpected to find out that he has a respectable job by day, whatever he gets up to at night.
Yeah, I suppose that's it. I suppose that's why I felt something was wrong.
If the gentleman is the London's communication station, we should be able to subpoena him within the hour. Lord Van Zeeks, if you please.
Yes, my lord.
Make the necessary arrangements with all haste.
As your lordship bids. Hadouken.
The court will recess for 1 hour. When the new witness arrive, we shall reconvene to hear the gentleman's testimony. Inspector Gregson?
Yes, my lord.
I should like to hear from you specifically about events in the pawnbroker and the day in question. Come to my chambers during the recess.
Yes, sir, my lord.
Very well. Court is adjourned until 1:40 p.m. Duke! Let's get to the bottom of this.
Woo! And to the bottom of this we shall get on the next episode. The 3 hours is plenty for today. Let's take a short break and maybe play something else. I don't know. Thank you so much for hanging out, Jackal and Dwight. And who else was here? That was a pretty quiet stream, but I had fun. Raposa, thank you. Mr. Krabs, thank you. Ioja, thank you. Dragon and Reitza and Legendary Wolf. And if I missed anyone, I apologize. Hope you have a great day. I'm going to take a short break and then we'll play something else. I'm not sure what yet. Maybe some Yakuza or maybe some Binding of Isaac or something. I don't know. We'll see. Lots of love. See you guys soon. Peace. Finish the game. We should be able to finish the game next stream. Bye-bye.